The Green Bay Packers have been a massive disappointment this season. At the time I'm recording this, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and we're about a week or two away from the Vikings clinching the NFC North. Now, no disrespect to the Vikings at all, but the Packers are a team that many, myself included, had pegged as NFC North champions this season, and a team that many saw advancing fairly deeply into the playoffs. So, how did we get here? I think there's one fateful night that we can return to, and that is the 2020 NFL Draft. If you follow me from TikTok, which I know a lot of you do, you might remember my perfect draft series, and that's exactly what we're doing here, is asking the question, what if the Green Bay Packers had drafted perfectly with every selection in the 2020 NFL Draft? So without further ado, let's get into the picks. With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Jordan Love and instead select Michael Pittman Jr., wide receiver, USC. This was a slam dunk selection. Either him or T. Higgins you could have made an argument for heading into the draft, but man, at the time and even still, the Packers desperately needed help for receiver, and they get one here with Michael Pittman Jr. With the 62nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select A.J. Dillon and instead select Gabe Davis, wide receiver, UCF. Again, you can never have too much help at the receiver position, especially with a team that throws the ball like the Packers do. Ultimately, you have Aaron Jones, you don't really need A.J. Dillon, and if you really want a running back, hold on, give it a few minutes because we will get one, I promise. With the 94th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Josh Jaguara and instead select L'Jarius Sneed, cornerback, Louisiana Tech. Now, this is a position the Packers, I would admit, are fine at right now, but you can't deny the impact that L'Jarius Sneed has made for the Kansas City Chiefs. Excellent pick here, much better than Josh Jaguara, and we are happy with the pick. With the 175th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Kamal Martin and instead select Mike Onwenu, right guard, Michigan. This is a guy who will come in and be an immediate impact starter for us, providing protection for Aaron Rodgers and opening up lanes in the run game. With the 192nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do select John Runyon, right guard, Michigan. I've got to show some respect here, as Runyon has been perhaps the only true contributor for the Packers aside from maybe A.J. Dillon, and he does get to remain the selection here. With the 208th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Jake Hansen and instead select Isaiah Rodgers Sr., cornerback, Massachusetts. If you don't know, which you probably don't if you're not a Colts fan, Rodgers has been a very nice player for the Colts. He's going to slide down the depth chart a bit here. He's not going to be a starter, but he does provide us some very solid depth, and the guy can play. With the 209th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Simon Stepaniak and instead select Cameron Curl, strong safety, Arkansas. Now again, he's not going to start, we've got Adrian Amos here already, but amazing depth, can learn behind the veteran, he is a great player. With the 236th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Vernon Scott and instead select James Robinson, running back, Illinois State. Robinson went undrafted in real life, but his play on the field indicates he clearly should have been selected, and we do get him here, so if you want a running back behind Aaron Jones, you've got one. And finally, with the 242nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Jonathan Garvin and instead select Tyler Huntley, And finally, with the 242nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers do not select Jonathan Garvin and instead select Tyler Huntley, quarterback, Utah. So now you have your Aaron Rodgers potential successor at a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the controversy. So now that the picks have been made, let's take a quick look here at the roster and see what kind of impact that this draft class now has on the Green Bay Packers. You've got a brand new wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, Michael Pittman Jr. and Gabe Davis. Those skill sets should complement each other very nicely for Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a happy man. James Robinson, he's good enough to step in and be our starting fullback. Should also get plenty of work behind Aaron Jones. Nice complementary piece as a power back. And then on the offensive line, Onwenu, we feel that he's got the versatility. We move him over to right tackle, so Runyon is still going to get the start. So now from this 2020 draft class, you've got 2 starters on the offensive line, 2 receivers, and a running back who's going to play, I would say, a pretty key role. So 4.5 new starters from this single draft class, one that was one of the worst in recent memory. Defensively, the impact is not quite as large, but we did make some adjustments here to bolster things for our case. So Cam Curl, we're going to move him to free safety. He's going to be better than Darnell Savage for us. In the secondary, you do have a new CB2 and L'Jarius Sneed. Plenty of depth there, not to mention adding Isaiah Rodgers. So yeah, man, it's a great draft class. We're going to give it a year. Maybe we go a couple, who knows? But let's just see the impact that a perfect draft class can have on a team. Okay, so mid-season point, and this team is 6-1, and honestly well-deserved given the overall level of talent on the team. Great matchup coming up here with the 4-2 Buffalo Bills, but let's take a quick look, see whose contracts are coming up here. Okay, so definitely a couple interesting players here. Adrian Amos is 29. He's got a lot of interest in us. I don't love the age, but we are trying to maximize our potential with Rodgers being on potentially his last year or 2 in the league. I think we wait and see if Rodgers chooses to retire at the end of the year, because sometimes he does. I think that's the move with Amos. Elgton Jenkins is a definite yes for me. All he's going to want is a 2-year deal. I'm actually going to extend that out. We'll do a 4-year. They like the length for some reason, and it actually lowers their cap hit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we get Elgton back. We're sitting with around $24 million heading into the offseason. Tunyon is going to be due. He does like us. And tight end is usually a pretty tricky position to fill, so I think that's worth it. I mean, he's good. He's not great, but he's good. That at least gives us something. He's not the oldest in the world. Mercedes Lewis is. Alan Lazard, we're not going to need. Randall Cobb is a no. Dean Lowry, Sammy Watkins, Jaron Reed. We'll need a new kicker with Crosby coming due. And yeah, I think we're in a good position. So Amos is the one we're going to wait and see on, and I hope that makes sense. Because really, for me, it's like, if Rodgers is coming back, then yeah, I want the best team possible. If he's not, then we start looking towards the future. But anyways, we're in a good position here. 6-1, I'm thinking playoffs for sure. 1 seed would be great. Let's get to the playoffs, and we'll take a look at the stats and see how we're doing. Okay, and we do go 14-3, and as you can see, we don't have a game this week, so that means we're the 1 seed in the NFC. Now that's what I'm talking about. Let's look at the stats, and we'll take a further look at the schedule. So first step, I am going to do the schedule just because I am curious, who were those 3 losses to? So the Bears in week 2, we lost by 7. Let's take a quick look here. The Bills, we lost by 3. And the Rams beat us by 10. So, I mean, no one beat us by more than 10 points, 2 or 1 possession games. This team is elite. Few close losses, but how many times were we over 40 points? I see 1, 2, 3... 3 40-point games, and I see multiple over 30, so it looks like the offense was high-powered. Defense did their job. Let's look at the stats and verify that. And here we are. Offense was 4th in the NFL. Very nice. Elite unit there. And defense was 3rd. So we've got 2 top 5 units, man. That is incredible. How did Rodgers do with his new supporting cast? 4,800 yards, 38 touchdowns, 16 picks. Passer rating of 108. The picks are a little high for Rodgers standards, but I'll take it. In the run game, we had Aaron Jones over 1,200 yards, 4.6 a carry with 10 scores. James Robinson, 439. He rushes it in 14 times. So the run game was on point. Rodgers even finds the end zone twice, and Randall Cobb gets a rushing score. Receiving, very interested to see this. Michael Pittman, 1,200 yards and 13 scores. Gabe Davis, 1,011. Mercedes Lewis, 905. Randall Cobb, 880 and 6, which is disappointing because I did move around the depth chart. He shouldn't have been getting the reps that he got. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Blocking, how do we do? We had a couple new starters, at least one that was new. He didn't do great. I mean, 9 sacks, I think I'm exaggerating a little bit. Under double digits, we'll take that from Mike Onwenu. Defensively, Campbell was our leading tackler, followed by Rashawn Gary. How did the pass rush do? We had 10.5 sacks from Preston Smith, 8 from Gary, Jaron Reed. Cam Curl did have 2, our new addition there. Interceptions, interested to see those. We had 3 from Campbell, 3 from Jair. Did we get any from L'Jarius Sneed? Yes, we got 1. Okay. So overall, a solid unit. Not many eye-dropping stats, not eye-dropping, jaw-dropping stats, excuse me, but still, solid production all around. 2 top 5 units. We're not complaining by any means. And remember, we do have the bye, so let's get to not the conference championship, the divisional round, and see who our first matchup is with. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys, classic. I am a bit worried because the Cowboys do so well in Sim. However, this team has progressed very well, up to an 88 overall, and as you can see, we can still upgrade the players. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. And let's get back to our matchup with the Cowboys, see how things are looking. So they do come in with a 10-7 record. Their offense is number 1 in the NFL. Defense is 22nd, so they are vulnerable for sure. It's going to be a shootout, I would say. We will find out, though. Let's get to the conference championship, and fingers crossed that we moved on past the Dallas Cowboys. And no. We lose 38-28. So yeah, that number 1 offense was a problem for us. Defense is going to have to be upgraded in the offseason. We're going to need more out of the pass rush, clearly. But let's look at the stats. Okay, so here we are, divisional round. Cowboys, Packers. We lose by 10. They put up 411 total yards of offense. We put up 442. Crazy how they outscored us by 10 points. In the passing game, Dak was perfect. 130 passer rating. Well, not perfect, but still very nice. Rodgers throws 3 touchdowns and an interception. In the run game, Zeke had a nice day with 2 scores. Not a whole lot going on for us. Receiving, Marquise Goodwin had a big day, 124 and a score, 113 and a score for Gabe Davis. Him and Pittman each had 10 catches. They're both over 100 yards. Lazard finds the end zone, Zeke gets a receiving score, and Dobbs gets a receiving score. Blocking, was anyone letting up a lot of sacks? Mike Onwenu lets up 3. I bet I know who they were too. Let's take a quick look here. I bet we're going to see Micah Parsons. He's got 2 and 1 for DeMarcus Lawrence. That might have been the difference right there. The blocking for us and the defense were both issues, and Jabril Peppers gets an interception. That's your ball game. And here is your season recap. So I guess slightly comforting, not so much, not really, but still. We do fall to the eventual champions as they beat the Ravens in a thriller. 42-34, Cowboys are world champs. Dak is Super Bowl MVP. Here are your yearly awards. Josh Allen wins MVP. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year. Von Miller, DPOY. Garrett Wilson and Aiden Hutchinson are your Rookies of the Year. And now for the real moment of truth. We are moving officially to the real offseason. Who retired? That is going to be key to our future. Let's take a look here. We're going to view the 2022 retirements. I don't see quarterback listed as a need, so that's encouraging. We want at least 1 more year out of Rodgers. Let's go to the NFC here. We did lose Mercedes Lewis and Tywan Jones, who I'm going to be honest, I don't know who that is. Outside of that, Brandon Graham and Cam Jordan retired, 2 greats there. Julio retired as a Steeler. Calais Campbell, Devin McCourty. Yeah, pretty quiet offseason. So Brady and Rodgers, they both are contenders to retire at this point of most rebuilds that I've seen. But Rodgers, we've got him for at least another year, so that's good. So let's go ahead and get our guy back, Adrian Amos. He is now just wanting a 3-year deal. He's 30 years old, down to just 86 overall, but still, he's going to be a high-level starter for us at that position. He's going to test out free agency. I don't know about that. How much is the franchise tag? How much would that cost us? $11 million? Psh, yeah, we'll take that. That might actually be a better deal for us, honestly. That's going to leave us with $16 million in cap, as Allen Lazard will hit the market, along with these other nondescript players. Oh, you know what? I did see Tyler Huntley. Let's go back to him for a second. So I am glad that I saw this. So Tyler Huntley, since he's an undrafted free agent, his contract is technically up. However, I already did this with James Robinson. I'm going to do this with him. Because we technically drafted both of these players, they should be on 4-year deals. They should each have 2 years left. I'm going to go ahead and make that change. So Tyler Huntley is not going to be hitting the market. And here we are in the offseason. The team has regressed on paper slightly with those losses, but let's take a look here at the lineup and see just how we're feeling. I think we're still in a good position. We should have the money to bring in at least 1 player through free agency. We'll see about that, but here we are, offensive side of the ball. So we're going to need some help at center, I would argue. If we can get a stud at right guard, I'm not opposed to it. Onwenu has developed nicely. He's an 84 overall now, right tackle. Receivers are fine, running backs are fine. Yeah, offense is pretty good. Maybe interior O-line, these 2 positions, if we can get a nice upgrade. And defensively, this is going to need to be our focus. So Preston Smith, yeah, he hit double-digit sacks, but he's getting up there in age. Quay Walker developed just into a 77. He does have star dev. Defensive line, we're going to need 2 new ends, so that is going to be a major area of concern for us, and maybe even strong safety, because we know that Amos is only on that franchise tag. I think after this year, I'd be good on bringing him back, and actually, maybe even quarterback, because for some reason, Huntley still hit the market. Honestly, that's fine. I don't know that he was going to be the long-term answer anyways. He's going to be 25 by the time Rodgers retires, so yeah, maybe we look to get a successor there. Okay, so I'm looking at my free agents here. This is the first place that I went, was the ends. And left end, obviously not impressive. Your best options are Dean Lowry, Larry Ogunjobi, and Chris Wormley. That's not going to cut it. Looking at the right end, you've got Marcus Davenport, who's not a scheme fit for us. You've got Yannick Ngakoue, Dante Fowler Jr., Samson Ibukam, whatever, and Robert Quinn. So I'm not loving those. Is there a DT that we could possibly plug into that position? I'm not really seeing one. I mean, Sheldon Rankins, maybe. David Onyemata. I'm not loving those. So I think we're going to avoid that position and go heavy on that in the draft. And I know I just franchise tagged Amos, but by far, the player that I'm most intrigued with in this class is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Now, he's got no interest in us. He wants to be close to home in Florida, which, I mean, Wisconsin couldn't be much further. But here's what I'm going to try and do here. I'm going to see if I can get CJ Gardner-Johnson, and then maybe we try and trade Amos since he's on that franchise tag. What if I were to offer him a very player-friendly deal? Because, I mean, he's 25 years old. He is a stud at the position. I think he would make a major impact on our defense. Where does this put us in his rankings? We're top of his list, so I think we're pretty safe there. Is there anyone else here that I would really like to offer anything to? Anyone that could detract me from going after him? I'm not really seeing anyone. It's a pretty good roster. I think we need a high-end level player like that. Let's send the offer. Let's have him evaluate it. Let's go to targeted. Is he still there? No. My signings. He is. All right, CJ Gardner-Johnson is a Green Bay Packer. Massive ad for the defense. So now let's see what we can get for Amos. Okay, so the offers are coming in for Adrian Amos, and we're getting several high-level players offered. You see Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith, Grover Stewart, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Johnson, Tyler Boyd, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson. So a lot of great players. Now the Jets, on paper, the lowest overall offer. However, Jermaine Johnson is such an elite prospect. He fills a massive position of need. Again, this trade is not realistic by any means. If you came here expecting realism, I don't know what to tell you, but we're going to take it. We are going to take that and send Adrian Amos to the New York Jets, and we have a very nice player to build around there. And we are getting offers for Isaiah Rodgers. He's part of that 2020 draft class. And can you believe we're already to the point where those contracts, they are going to be coming due here at the conclusion of this upcoming season. So I would say we're incentivized to move a player like Isaiah Rodgers. I didn't put him on the trade block. The CPU must have. But I'm going to go ahead and take this offer. We'll take Eric Armstead. We need some depth on that D-line. Okay, no, it would put us over the salary cap. Never mind on that one. And here we are in the 2023 NFL Draft. The Giants are selecting first, and the Seahawks have picks 2 and 3. Very interesting. Now we're picking 26. Let's go ahead and get there. I don't know that an elite level player is going to be available at that point. I'm not opposed to the idea of trading back, especially because next year we might be in the market to trade up and get ourselves a quarterback, especially if Rodgers retires. So let's take a look here. Let's see who's out there. Okay, so there are some quarterbacks here. So funny enough, we're actually picking 28th, not 26th, forgive me, 28th. We could go quarterback here. It's very similar to where the Packers selected, Jordan Love. I'm not loving that though. No pun intended, I promise. The defensive ends just are not quite doing it for me. I don't see any guys that merit a first round selection, so I did use some staff points. We should get a good offer here. Let's see what teams are gonna throw at us for this. So here's an offer from the Rams, a first in next year's draft. It's projected to be 32nd. I don't know if they're going to be that good. I want to take one from a team that I feel is probably not going to be all that successful. The 49ers always do well. The Cowboys always do well. The Chiefs do. The Cardinals are interesting. That is kind of my perspective here. The Bengals, the Bills. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You're not going to offer that future first if you think you're not going to be any good. The Bucks. The Titans are a sneaky one. The Titans might not be great, as Tannehill's another year older. Oh, I'm torn. I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to gamble here on the Titans, and I'm going to say the Titans are going to be bad next year. That's the pick that we're taking. And yeah, I am happy with that selection because the other teams on the list, they just consistently do well in sim. The Rams, I know they're getting older, so they were one I was definitely thinking about, but I don't see it. So here we are back in the second round. I'm interested in trading back. Could we get a first for this, potentially? That would be amazing. I doubt it. Despite all those staff points that we sent. Okay. So the Rams, they do want to offer us a second and a third in next year's draft. I think that's fair. Then, if they are bad, it would be a high second. We're going to go ahead and take that. And let's go ahead. Let's trade our third round pick too. We're going to have a ton of capital in next year's draft. And remember, we have the entire 2020 draft class is going to be wanting new contracts. So we might be losing quite a few guys. So I think it makes more sense. You get them 1 year later. They would be rookies next year rather than taking them this year while they sit on the bench and do nothing. I think that just makes more sense for us. The Titans, they're going to offer us a third and a seventh. Can we get like a third and a fourth? I'm looking here. That's this year. I don't want this year. Let's see. Not seeing a whole lot for this pick. I really don't want any more selections in this year's draft. They're just going to be wasted. A third and a seventh. Ugh, okay. I'll tell you what. I'll take the Cardinals' third round pick. We're hedging here. There are multiple teams that we've taken draft picks from. One of them has to be bad. The Rams and the Cardinals, I don't think they can both be good. I almost kind of wish I had taken the Cardinals' first round pick because I usually don't see them doing very well in sim, so it is what it is. But the draft is over. Let's see who the CPU took for us. Okay, so here is your draft recap. They did get us a running back, 74 overall, Mario McBride. I love the name. Not bad at all. He's 23 years old. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. But yeah, man, not bad. We'll take it. I mean, ultimately, I don't know that we were going to draft anyone who was going to come in and make an immediate impact for us. That's just me being honest. And here we are again, week 1. We've got an 87 overall team. The Chiefs are somehow just an 83. Looks like offense is carrying them, though, at an 87. Let's take a quick look at our roster. We've got a balanced team here. 88 offense, 87 defense. I'm thinking we go far again. I hope so. We cannot have a disappointment in what will potentially be Aaron Rodgers' last year with the team. Let's look at the offense, though. So, just pointing out the weaknesses. It's going to take a lot more time to point out the strengths because there are a lot of them. Center, that is a cause for concern. Aside from that, I'm not really worried about anything else on this team. I'm really not. Pittman's up to an 87, so that's very nice for us. Defensively, I would say pass rush is still probably going to be an issue for us. We're hopeful. We've got 3 star dev guys on the defensive line. Maybe we get something there. The linebacking core is a potential concern. And the secondary, I think, is going to be good enough for us. So I think that, top 10 units on both sides of the ball is very much realistic. But let's get to the midseason point and see how we're feeling then. Okay, so midseason point, we are 3-4. I can't say I quite understand how. So our offense is 30th somehow. Defense is 23rd. Yeah, man, we're struggling. Where are the issues coming from? Okay, so here are the stats. We are 12th in yards, actually, so not as bad as I thought. The yards are okay. 10th in defensive yards, so there's hope. Let's look at the points. We've scored 30th in total points. That's bad. And 23rd in points allowed. So we're getting the yards, we're just not scoring. We're not punching it in, and we're allowing them to punch it in. So that says to me, O-line and D-line are probably going to be our problems. Let's see if we can do anything about that. And if I seriously want to upgrade at either of those two positions, I would say center or defensive end. I'm going to have to give up something good in return. And here's what I'm thinking. We are going to enter the offseason with $14 million in cap space. We've got a lot of players whose contracts are up. Rashawn Gary, Michael Pittman, Gabe Davis, James Robinson, Cam Curl, Mike Onwenu, L'Jarius Sneed, Darnell Savage. Oh my goodness. So here's the thing. Savage, he's not even playing to begin with. He's expendable. Who doesn't want to come back? Onwenu? He doesn't. James Robinson doesn't, and he's probably not playing much regardless. Pittman and Gabe Davis, neither of them want to. That is actually a bit of a conundrum for me because Gabe Davis is a year younger. What kind of deals do these guys want? Gabe only wants a 3-year deal. I almost feel like we could maybe get him back. Pittman, I think we could get some serious value for. Let's see what we can get from Michael Pittman. So here's what it's going to take. And let me tell you guys, the Chiefs drive a hard bargain. I just negotiated back and forth with them for the last 10, 15 minutes. And let me just be honest, this is the absolute best deal for us right here. So Pittman, he wants nothing to do with us. James Robinson, he wants nothing to do with us. We have a good backup that we just drafted. We do have to give up a 3rd-round pick, but we get Creed Humphrey, best center, one of the best centers in the league. He is from the 2021 draft class. We're not going to have to worry about paying him for another year. And Easton Stick, just for the purpose of helping the Chiefs stay within the cap. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to do the deal, but we now have an incredible center, and still plenty of depth at receiver, I would argue. Okay, so definitely not as much of a blockbuster here, but we're going to send Darnell Savage, a player who's frankly not getting any playing time anyways, to the Falcons for Grady Jarrett. He's an aging vet, but he should immediately help our defensive line. We're doing fine in yardage. It's just, I feel we're probably struggling in the red zone on both sides of the ball, so getting a new center and a new D lineman I think is a good move for us. And for some reason, that does completely tank us on cap room. I didn't think that Creed Humphrey or Grady Jarrett, either of them had a very big cap hit. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But now we're sitting with around $840,000 with Rashawn Gary, Gabe Davis, Cam Curl, Mike Onwenu, L'Jarius Sneed, and John Runyon, and Isaiah Rodgers all coming up. All as players I would like to bring back. Each and every single one of them. So the offseason is going to be tough. Now the question is, do we stay with the moves that we've made, or do we try and push the chips in even further, knowing that things might be rough after this year? I want to take a quick look, seriously examine things, and see what move I might want to make. Now, I do have some offers here for Isaiah Rodgers, and since we got rid of Pittman, we could use some speed at receiver. I'm going to go ahead and take this offer from the Dolphins for Cedric Wilson. And I think we're going to leave it at that. Let's get to the playoffs. Fingers crossed. Let's hope that this team is a contender. Okay, so things do turn around for us. We go 11-6, we make the playoffs, NFC North champs yet again. Not good enough for the 1 seed, but with how shaky things were looking at the midseason point, I'm happy with this. The team has grown up to an 89 overall, and who else do we get but the Dallas Cowboys? Now, before we look at that matchup, let's take a look at the stats and the schedule here. So things started off for us rough. We did beat the Chiefs, lost to the Lions by 16, the Raiders by 11, the Falcons by 3. 3-game losing streak. Bit of a win streak, another loss to the Lions here. Now here's where we made those trades. So that ended up with a pretty big loss to the Bucks. However, after the bye week, things came back together. 35-0 against the Vikings, shut them out. 34-22 against the Saints. Very close loss to the Panthers. And then to end the season, bro, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-game win streak. A dominant win over the Bears. We put up 40 points multiple times, over 30 points in our last 6, 7, shoot. I mean, we were over 30 points every single game since the bye, so the offense was on fire. And now let's take a quick look at those stats. So how did we end the year? 3rd in total offense, very nice. Defense finishes 4th, so top 5 again in both units. Had we had a better start to the year, things would have gone a lot differently. I think we'd be the 1 seed right now. I really do believe that. I'm glad we made the moves that we did. Rodgers, 5,000 yards, 43 touchdowns, 22 picks, just uncharacteristic for the interceptions. I don't get it. Rushing, Aaron Jones, 4.5 a carry, 15 scores, 6 for the rookie Mario McBride, very nice, would probably be higher if we traded James Robinson earlier. Gabe Davis steps up in a major way, 1,500 yards and 15 scores, 1,111 for Cedric Wilson, we don't know how many were with us, 1,111 for Romeo Doubs is very encouraging. Christian Watson would like to see a little bit more from him. How do we do in blocking? We had Onwenu stepped up in a major way, only 5 sacks allowed, very nice. Defensively, leading tacklers Devondre Campbell with 115, Quay Walker's right behind him. How did we do on sacks? Let's take a look at those here. So we had 13 from Rashawn Gary, 9.5 from Jermaine Johnson, very nice. Not expecting that, but I will certainly take it. 5.5 from Grady Jarrett. Interceptions, how did the secondary perform? We had 2 from Campbell, 2 from Cam Curl, and 2 from Rasul Douglas. So pretty quiet, only 1 from the free agent addition, CJ Gardner-Johnson, but hey, we'll take it. Now this might be it for Aaron Rodgers. Let's take a quick look at our competitor here, the Dallas Cowboys. So our strategy, do we want to defend the pass or do we want to shut down Zeke? I think we're gonna go deep pass because he tore us up the last time that we faced them. And then offensively, we've got to go blitz counter. We got to do everything that we can to shut down Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. They cannot have the field day that they had with us last year, as Parsons is up to a 98 overall, man. Absolutely insane. It's going to be a battle. It is going to be a battle for sure. Also worth mentioning, we have quite a few staff points saved up. I did go ahead and spend a lot of them, upgrading both sides of the ball. We're going all out against Dallas. We got to get the victory here. Can we do it? Let's find out. And we do get the victory. It's a narrow victory, 25-21, but we are moving on regardless. Let's take a look at the stats and see how this went down. And here they are, wildcard weekend game results, 25-21. Let's see here. So we actually came back 15 fourth quarter points. Vintage Aaron Rodgers, 402 yards of total offense. They outgain us like we outgain them, but this time we get the victory. Rodgers, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Great performance in year 19. Dak, passer rating of 110, 345 yards, just 1 passing score, no interceptions this game. Aaron Jones, 100 yards on the ground. Zeke struggles, 3.3 a carry. Nothing like what he did to us last year. Tyler McKenzie and Dak both scored rushing scores. Tyler McKenzie is their rookie running back. Perhaps Zeke's replacement. Dalton Schultz over 100 yards. Gabe Davis finds the end zone. Zacchaeus, he finds the end zone for the Cowboys. Tunyon scores for us, and Dobbs scores for us. Very nice. Blocking, how'd we do? Tyron Smith, he did let up a sack, but none allowed for us, so very nice. Campbell with 15 tackles. Isaiah Simmons is a Cowboy, of course he is. 10 tackles. Sacks, we must have had, 1. Split between Jermaine Johnson and L'Jarius Sneed, an interesting duo there. Interceptions, there were none, and that's your ball game. And here we are, we're going up against the 14-3 Bucks. So are they the 1 seed? I do want to take a quick look at that and see, because 14-3, if they're not, that's crazy to me. Let's see here. So we're facing off, no, the Commanders are the 1 seed. Bucks are the 2 seed. Is Brady still around? Because I did see him hit free agency last year. Did he return? Are we getting Rodgers and Brady one last time? Let's take a look here and see. We'll go to our weekly strategy. Let's find out. What have we got here? No, it's a rookie, Wendell Bingham. Okay. So very interesting. Fournette's still around, but they've got Wendell Bingham, an 80 overall rookie with superstar dev. So we're going to want to make sure to shut that down. And we're also going to want to make sure to shut down Vita Vea. We can't have him wrecking our game plan. They still have Antoine Winfield Jr., and yeah, man, it's going to be close. At least I hope so. They're a good team, a great team, in fact. But let's get into it and let's see. Can Rodgers get past the Buccaneers? Can he get back to the conference championship game? It is officially time to find out. And we get the job done again. 41-25. We are headed to the conference championship game. And who else could it be than other than the 49ers? Oh my goodness. Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite, perhaps the last test of his career. But first, let's take a look and see how we got here. And here they are, your divisional round games. So the Niners, they knock off the 1 seed Commanders in a close one. We beat the Bucks fairly easily. We put up 418 total yards of offense. Rodgers, decent game, 262 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Wendell Bingham, he does have, he struggles. He's sacked 5 times, throws a pick, passer rating under 80. That's not amazing. Aaron Jones, 8.1 per carry and a score. Fournette scores. Mario McBride scores 3 times. Rashad White does find the end zone in the receiving game. Pretty quiet day. Chris Godwin scores. Romeo Dobbs scores. Sacks, who was letting them up? Tristan Wirfs, he lets up 3. Bakhtiari lets up 2. And a couple for the other Bucks players. Devin White's the leading tackler. Grady Jarrett is ours. Sacks, how did we do? We had 3 from Rashawn Gary, 1 from Grady Jarrett, and 1 from Kenny Clark. Very nice job. Interceptions, we had one from Rasul Douglas, and there we have it. We're conference championship game bound. And just to take a quick look at the bracket here, we are the 3 seed going up against the 4 seed. Okay, so I was curious to see if the Niners, maybe they came in as a 7 seed with that 9-8 record, but no, both of us division winners, so both solid teams for sure. But definitely interesting to see a 9-8 team in the conference championship game. And again, of course, if you know anything about recent NFL history, I mean, even going back the last 10 years, Colin Kaepernick gave the Packers hard times. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one for sure. Who are our concerns? Who do we need to keep an eye out for in this game? It's going to be offensively. They still have Trey Lance. Okay. He's a 75 overall, and Christian McCaffrey. Ooh, I think we want to shut down the run game, that outside run. That's what we're going to go for there. I hope that pays off. And then offensively, Nick Bosa, game wrecker right there. We want to go blitz counter. I'm going to assume there's Charvarius Ward. I was looking for Fred Warner, not seeing him listed. Okay, I'm sure he's still there. But yeah, man, it's going to be a good one. So Niners-Packers, again, for I don't know how many times it's been. Doesn't matter. Kaepernick, Jimmy G, this team has given Rodgers headaches for a while now. Can he get past them once and for all? And perhaps his last season. This might be Rodgers' final run. Let's upgrade our players one last time and let's find out. And I'll tell you guys what. Since this is Rodgers' potential last game, this and maybe the Super Bowl, we're going to do a play-by-play. Of course, I'm not playing the games. I'm not doing that. But I want to see play-by-play. How do things shake out here for Rodgers and the Packers and Trey Lance and the Niners? Massive game, Super Bowl on the line. Let's get into it. And here we go, starting things off. 1st and 10 for the Niners. Trey Lance picks up a yard. 2nd and 9, McCaffrey picks up 4. 3rd and 4, they get it with a Trey Lance 5-yard rush. Trey Lance, he picks up another 4. 2nd and 6, Nelson Aguilar is a 49er. He picks up 4. They convert another 1st down, 10-yard pass. McCaffrey is injured on the play. 1st and 10, Lance is thrown away. 2nd and 10, knocked away by Devondre Campbell. Big 3rd down here. Get the stop. They do not. Nelson Aguilar for 28 yards. 1st and goal. McCaffrey back in the game. He picks up 6. 2nd and goal. Kyle Juszczyk with a 1-yard touchdown reception. Extra point is good. Niners score on their first drive. Packers, how do they respond? 1st and 10 after the touchback. What do they do here? 9-yard rush by Aaron Jones to start things off. 2nd and 1. Aaron Jones picks up the 1st. 1st and 10 again. Dobbs with a 15-yard catch. 1st and 10. Tunyon with another 1st down, gain of 13. 1st and 10. Gabe Davis, another 13-yard gain. 1st and 10. Packers are in the red zone. Dobbs for 5 yards. Dobbs for 6 yards. 1st and goal. Aaron Jones loses 2 yards. 2nd and goal. Aaron Jones gets back those 2 yards. 3rd and goal, 10 to gain, and Tunyon picks it up, a 10-yard score. And it is 7-7 here in the first. Niners, they get the ball. How do they respond? Touchback. 1st and 10 here. Pass is thrown away by Lance. 2nd and 10. Debo, 12-yard gain. 1st and 10. McCaffrey loses 1. 2nd and 11. Lance is thrown away. 3rd and 11 here. And the Packers get a stop. The Niners will have to punt. Starting at their own 31-yard line. Packers, second possession, 1st and 10. 7-yard gain by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 3. 8-yard gain by Aaron Jones. 1st and 10. 8 yards again by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 2. Dobbs picks up the 1st down, 5-yard gain. 1st and 10, Mario McBride picks up 5 on the 35-yard line. Mario McBride again for 3. 3rd and 2, Mario McBride again picks up the 1st down on the 29-yard line. Gabe Davis, 14-yard gain, Packers at the 15. 14 again, Packers on the 1. 1st and goal, Mario McBride touchdown. 14-7 Packers. 4:12 left in the second. Niners will get the ball again. 1st and 10 here after Jalen Reagor fields it for a touchback. 4-yard gain by McCaffrey. 2nd and 6, sacked by Grady Jarrett. 3rd and 14, sacked again by Grady Jarrett. What a pickup he was. 4th and 19, they have to punt. Packers will get the ball with great field position at their own 47. 1st and 10, no gain. 2nd and 10. 28 yards, Rodgers to Dobbs. 1st and 10 at the 25, 5-yard gain by McBride. 2nd and 5, 6 yards to Gabe Davis. On the 13-yard line, 1st and 10, touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his second of the game. Charvarius Ward is injured on the play. Packers are up 21-7 here. 2:30 left in the first. Niners will have plenty of time here to put a drive together. 1st and 10. After the touchback, McCaffrey picks up 8 on the ground. 2nd and 2. 5 yards by McCaffrey. It's a first down. 1st and 10 at the 2-minute warning. 6-yard gain. 1st and 10. I believe they're showing that to us again. 2nd and 4. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 4. Can the Packers get a stop? No. Aguilar picks up 6 at the 50-yard line. 3-yard gain by Trey Lance. 2nd and 7. Passes thrown away. Another big third down here. 3rd and 7. Passes thrown away. Niners will likely punt. They do. Packers, plenty of time. Minute 21, all their timeouts. Cedric Wilson, 15-yard gain. 1st and 10, 4 yards by Mario McBride. A minute left. 2nd and 6, passes knocked away by Ambry Thomas. Big third down, 3rd and 6. Tonyan picks it up. He needed 6, he got it. 1st and 10, Christian Watson for 7 yards. 2nd and 3, Cedric Wilson for 6. 1st and 10 at the 42, Cedric Wilson, again, 27-yard gain. Aaron Jones, touchdown, a 15-yard strike from Rodgers. It is 28-7 here, and that will likely be our score heading into the half. Rager brings it out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, 19 seconds left. McCaffrey picks up 8, and that will take us to the half. And the Packers, they will get the ball here to start the second half. Can they keep that momentum going? 1st and 10. It's a 12-yard gain to Tonyan. 1st and 10. 2 yards by Dobbs. 2nd and 8. Cedric Wilson again for 6. 3rd and 2. They pick it up. 4 yards by Aaron Jones. They're at midfield. 1st and 10. 6-yard gain by Jones. 2nd and 4. 6-yard gain again by Jones. 1st and 10. 29-yard pass from Rodgers to Aaron Jones. It's 1st and goal. Jones picks up 3. 2nd and goal. 3 yards again by Jones. 3rd and goal at the 4. They get it. Robert Tonyan, his 3rd touchdown of the game. It is 35-7. Packers are blowing this thing wide open, guys. Niners, they have to score here. They got to get something going. It's likely out of hand at this point. We are likely headed to the Super Bowl. I don't want to jinx it. McCaffrey, he does have a first down here. 1st and 10. Ayuk picks up 27, his first catch of the game. Pass is thrown away on 1st and 10. 2nd and 10. 7-yard rush by Deebo Samuel. 3rd and 3. Aguilar, 13-yard gain. They're knocking on the door here. 1st and 10. They will have 2nd and 5 at the 10. Lance picks it up. It's 1st and goal. 1st and goal. 1-yard rush by Trey Lance. 2nd and goal. 2-yard rushing score by Christian McCaffrey. It's 35-14. The Niners had to get a score there. They got it. Packers will get the ball back. Can they put the Niners away here as the 3rd quarter is winding down? 1st and 10. Rodgers hits Tonyan for 14. 1st and 10. 4-yard rush by Dobbs. 2nd and 6. 7-yard rush by Mario McBride, picking up another first down. Rodgers' pass is thrown away on 1st and 10. 2nd and 10. Hits Dobbs for 22 yards. The Packers are driving. They're knocking on the door of the red zone here. They're at the 29-yard line. 5-yard rush by Mario McBride. 3rd and 1. McBride picks it up. They are in the red zone. 1st and 10. McBride for 5. They're at the 13. Dobbs for 8. 1st and goal at the 5. And it's intercepted by Fred Warner. Oh my goodness. The Niners have the ball. It's still a long shot, but they've got a chance. 3rd and 6. It's 4th and 6. They have to go for it. They get it. Aguilar, 27-yard gain. They're at midfield. Ayuk for 17. 1st and 10. Aguilar for 6. 2nd and 4, sacked by Grady Jarrett. Amazing game here. 3rd and 8, hits Kittle for 15 yards. His first catch. Pass is thrown away on 1st down. 2nd and 10. Ayuk, 10 yards. It's 1st and goal at the 6. McCaffrey loses 3. 2nd and goal at the 9. Deebo Samuel, 9-yard touchdown catch from Trey Lance. It is a 14-point game with about 3 minutes left in the game. They have to go for the onside kick. The Packers get it, because they're not playing the Seahawks. 1st and 10, 9-yard gain by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 1, Jones picks up 10. This might be it, folks. Jones picks up 6, 2nd and 4, 1st and 10. Okay, they're showing that to us again. 2nd and 4 now. 4-yard gain by McBride, 3rd and inches here. And they do pick it up. McBride, gain of 7, 1st and 10. It's going to be 2nd and 3 at the 3. Jones picks up 2. We're inside of the 2-minute warning. Aaron Jones, rushing score. That's your ball game. going to be 42-21 here, and that's it. That's it. We're in garbage time at this point. Game is over. And we are headed to the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. 42-21. It wasn't particularly close at any point. The Niners, they made it a little bit interesting there at the end. But let's look at the stats. Rodgers, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, passer rating of 138. Lance, no major mistakes, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He did get sacked several times. Aaron Jones, rushing score. Mario McBride, Christian McCaffrey, all find the end zone. Tunyon, 7 for 72 and 3. What a game from him. Debo and Aaron Jones, each with receiving scores. Kyle Juszczyk as well. Leading tackler for us was Jair. Sacks, show us Grady Jarrett. He had 3. Game of his career, and there's Fred Warner with his interception, and we are Super Bowl bound. And with that being said, let's go ahead and skip to the Super Bowl here. Let's see who we're facing off with. Will it be the Patriots or will it be the Browns? We don't know yet, but let's find out. It is going to be the Patriots. They come in with a 10-7 record. How were they seeded? That is something I am interested to see. What was their path to get here? So let's move things. Oh, actually, we don't need to move things over. We can see everything. So they came in as the 3 seed. They handled the Raiders with ease. They beat Lamar's Ravens in the divisional, and then they knock off the 1 seed Browns in the conference championship game 49-14. Absolute statement win against the 1 seed. Now let's look at our weekly strategy here, see what we're going up against. So Tony Pollard is a Patriot, and Mac Jones is the guy here. So, I mean, everything runs through the pass game. We want to shut down Mac Jones. If we shut down Mac Jones, I think we can handle Tony Pollard. We want to go blitz counter, of course. We can't have Matt Judon wrecking our plans. Kyle Duggar, definitely worth looking out for. But yeah, man, I think it's a winnable Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl, of course, so got to show respect. Both teams had quite the path to get here. Can Aaron Rodgers go out on top? And of course, I'm being very premature here. We don't know if he retires. I'm just assuming, due to his age and the fact that he's usually gone at this point, can we do it? Let's find out. But with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead, let's just get right into it here. Packers, Patriots for the Super Bowl. 2 historic franchises. Who comes out on top? Alright, and Aaron Rodgers back in the Super Bowl for the first time in over a decade. Mac Jones, his first Super Bowl appearance. Who comes out on top? Let's go ahead, let's do the sim. So Patriots, they will get the ball first. What do they do with it? 1st and 10 at the 25. Sacked by Grady Jarrett on the first play of the game. 2nd and 13, sacked by Rashawn Gary. 3rd and 19, passes thrown away. What a first drive by the Packers defense, but one heck of a punt by Jake Bailey. Packers will take over at the 13. 1-yard gain by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 9. 14-yard gain from Rodgers to Jones. 1st and 10, 5-yard gain by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 5, sacked by Devon Godchaux. 3rd and long, passes thrown away. So both offenses struggle on their first drive. Patriots, their second possession. They have Mecole Hardman now returning punts for them. 1st and 10, passes thrown away. 2nd and 10, intercepted by Cameron Curl for a touchdown. It's a pick 6, and that is your first score of the Super Bowl. What a start by the Packers defense. 2 sacks and a pick 6, man. Mac Jones to Jacoby Myers for 5 on the next possession. 3-yard gain by Pollard. 3rd and 2. The Pats have their first down of the game. Jacoby Myers for 15. 5-yard gain by Pollard. 2nd and 5. Pollard loses 3. 3rd and 8. Passes thrown away by Mac Jones. Pats have struggled here in the first offensively. Packers with their second possession. Gain of 1 by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 9. Rodgers picks up 7 on the ground. 3rd and 2. Aaron Jones loses 3. Packers will punt again. Still no offensive points here in the Super Bowl. First quarter starting to wind down. 5-yard penalty against Jonnu Smith. 1st and 15. Mecole Hardman picks up 13. 2nd and 2. Pollard gets the first. 9-yard gain. 1st and 10. Passes thrown away by Mac Jones. 2nd and 10. 13-yard gain to Jacoby Myers. 1st and 10. 2-yard gain by Pollard on the ground. 2nd and 8. Sacked again by Rashawn Gary. 3rd and 15. Sacked again by Rashawn Gary. He is playing lights out here in the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness. Packers get the ball at the 36. Passes thrown away on 1st down. 2nd down. Pass is thrown away again. 3rd and 10, Dobbs, 13-yard gain. Packers have the ball at midfield. Jones picks up 5. It's 2nd and 5. 5 yards again by Jones. First down at the 40. 1st and 10. Jones picks up 8. 2nd down. Jones picks up 5. They're at the 27. Jones picks up 8 again. 2nd and 2 on the 19. Pass is thrown away. It's 3rd and 2. 19-yard score. Aaron Jones rushing touchdown. It's 14-0 here. 4 minutes left in the half. Patriots, can they do anything on offense? They need some points here. 1st and 10. Jacoby Myers, 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. Jacoby Myers for 15. He's been their bright spot. Jacoby Myers for 23. Pats are driving. 4-yard gain by Ramondre Stevenson, his first carry of the game. Pollard picks up 3 on the next play. 3rd and 3. Hunter Henry gets the first, 7 yards. They're in the red zone. Hunter Henry for 6 yards. 2nd and 4. 4-yard gain by Pollard. It's 1st and goal. Pollard loses 3. 2nd and goal at the 12. Sacked by Jermaine Johnson. It's 3rd and goal at the 17, and the pass is thrown away. They'll have to settle for 3, and they get it. Austin Seibert. It's 14-3 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Can Rodgers add some more points on the board before we head to halftime? He hits Cedric Wilson for 25. They're at midfield. Oh my goodness. Within the 2-minute warning, Gabe Davis for 6. They're at the 44. Gabe Davis for 8. 1st and 10 at the 37. 1st and 10. Aaron Jones from Rodgers for 5. 2nd and 5. Hits Dobbs for 16. They're at the 16-yard line. Tunyon for 13. They're at the 3. 1st and goal. Aaron Jones picks it up. His 2nd rushing score of the game. It is 21-3 here with a minute left in the half. The Patriots do have time. What do they do with it? 1st and 10. Pass is thrown away. 2nd and 10. 3-yard gain from Mac Jones to Pollard. 3rd and 7. Mac Jones picks up nothing on the ground. They'll have to punt. Packers will get the ball at the 31. They've got time. Do they go for a score here? 1st and 10. Rodgers is sacked by Matt Judon. That will take us to halftime. Packers get the ball to start the half up 18. 1st and 10. 9-yard gain by Aaron Jones. 2nd and 1. Pass is thrown away. Big 3rd down here. Don't go 3 and out. Even worse, interception by Kyle Duggar. Pats have the ball in the red zone. Huge play by their defense. Jermaine Johnson, his 2nd sack of the day. It's 3rd and 11. Mecole Hardman picks up 9. 4th and 2, and they settle for 3. It's now 21-6. Still a 2-score game here. Packers, what do they do to respond to that turnover? 1st and 10. Aaron Jones picks up 6. 2nd and 4. Pass is thrown away. Don't go 3 and out. 3rd and 4. He hits Dobbs for 7. Ball's at the 38. Pass is thrown away. 2nd and 10 here. 25-yard gain from Rodgers to Cedric Wilson. 1st and 10. Hits Gabe Davis for 19. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10. Jones picks up 5. 2nd and 5. Jones picks up 5 again. It's 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Jones picks up 8. 1st and goal at the 1. Aaron Jones, his 3rd rushing score of the game. Making a strong case for Super Bowl MVP if the Packers hold on here. They're up by 22 points here. 2:39 left in the 3rd. Stevenson picks up 3 on the ground. 2nd and 7. 6-yard gain by Pollard. It's 3rd and inches. They get it. Jacoby Myers for 5. 1st and 10. Stevenson picks up 2. 2nd and 8. Mecole Hardman, 26-yard catch. They're at the 33. Jones hits Pollard for 4. Pollard picks up the 1st down, 6 yards on the ground. 1st and 10, Pollard picks up 4. They are in the red zone. 2nd and 6, Pollard picks up 8. 1st and 10 at the 10, pass is thrown away. 2nd and goal, Pollard loses 4. Big play here, 3rd and 14 as we enter the 4th. Stevenson loses 2. They need to go for it. And Mac Jones hits Hunter Henry for a 16-yard score. The 2-point try is unsuccessful. It's 28-12 here. 5:45 left in the game. It's do or die time for the Patriots. 1st and 10. Jones loses 4. 2nd and 14. Rodgers hits Dobbs for 6. 3rd and 7. Hits Christian Watson for 8 yards. Big 1st down there. Jones picks up 5 on the next play. 2nd and 5. Jones picks up 5. It's 3rd and inches. And Jonathan Jones gets the interception. Pats have 1st and goal. Stevenson picks up 3 at 2nd and goal. Stevenson punches it in. It's 28-18. Now it's 28-20. They get the 2-point try. It is an 8-point game. What a comeback by the Patriots. First and 10, Cedric Wilson picks up a 5-yard rush. Second and 5, pass is knocked away. Big third down here, and the pass is thrown away. The Pats will get the ball with the chance to tie. Can you believe it? They'll get the ball at the 27. First and 10, pass is thrown away. Second and 10, sacked by Rashawn Gary. Third and 18, Hunter Henry picks up 6. They have to get it. Fourth and 11, no, they will punt it. So the Packers will get another chance to put away the Pats. Jones picks up 2. They're almost at midfield. Second and 8, Tunyon picks up 4. Third and 4, Dobbs, 30-yard gain. First and 10, they are in the red zone. Jones picks up 6. Second and 4 at the 15. Mario McBride gets a first down. First and 10 at the 11. McBride for 4. They are at the 6-yard line inside of 2 minutes. First and goal at the 1. Rodgers will kneel. Second and goal. Mario McBride, they decide to punch it in. He has a rushing score, and that is likely your ball game unless we get an absolute miracle here. It's going to have to be a quick touchdown, an onside kick, and another quick score. Jones picks up 3. We're down to a minute left. Second and 7, passes thrown away. Third and 7, thrown away again. This is it. Fourth and 7, sacked by Devondre Campbell, and the Packers will take over on downs. Aaron Rodgers is kneeling it out here, and despite some late game heroics by the Pats defense, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are world champions. Unbelievable. We have done it. Aaron Rodgers on top once again. And if this is it for him, what a way to go out. Couple costly interceptions, but overall he put his team in position to succeed. Hit Dobbs with that big 30-yard gain when they needed it most on third down. And that is your Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's take a quick look at those post-game stats here. So 35-20. And let's see here, Rodgers passer rating of 50. Oh my goodness, 15 for 26, 199 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 picks. What an ugly Super Bowl for Aaron Rodgers. Mac Jones, just the same, passer rating of 74. Only picks up 170 yards through the air, a touchdown, and a pick. This was not the game for you if you like passing game. Oh my goodness. Aaron Jones picks up 3 rushing scores, 105 on the ground. Stevenson scores and Mario McBride scores. In the receiving game, you're not going to see a whole lot, but Jacoby Myers had himself a game. 7 catches for 80 yards. He did what he could. Dobbs, 5 for 72 with that crucial 30-yard catch late in the 4th. Hunter Henry with the only receiving score of the game. And they do have pancake sacks in here. That's interesting. Okay. Isaiah Wynn, he lets up 4 sacks to us. Trent Brown lets up 2. Devondre Campbell, the leading tackler. Here are your sacks. Rashawn Gary picked up 3.5. 2 for Jermaine Johnson. 1 for Devondre Campbell. 1 for Grady Jarrett. And a half for Rasul Douglas. Interceptions, Cam Curl with the pick 6. Kyle Duggar and Jonathan Jones each picking up interceptions. So honestly, a few ways the Super Bowl MVP could go. I'm thinking it's probably Aaron Jones with those 3 scores. Cam Curl did have a pick 6, so that's worth mentioning. Or, I mean, it's hard to argue against 3.5 sacks. So several contenders. My final guess is going to be Aaron Jones. But I will be interested to see, so let's find out. So let's take a look here. Here are your season awards. So Cameron Curl, they do give the MVP to him. With that big pick 6, I mean, that kind of set the tone for the whole game. I mean, that was the first score of the game. I get it. Wendell Bingham, he is your MVP as a rookie. Wow. So we're going to have to look out for him for years to come. Ron Rivera gets Coach of the Year. Very interesting. But yeah, that's your recap. And now that that's over, let's get to the real offseason here. I am very interested to see the retirements. Is Aaron Rodgers gone? Did he choose to go out on top? I don't see him listed as a need. Let's view those 2023 retirements. Let's just take a quick look here. We're going to the NFC first. Did we lose anyone? No. No one retired on us. Okay. Very interesting. Brady does retire, though, as a Commander. Okay. So that's how they got the 1 seed. Matthew Stafford also retiring. Over in the AFC, anyone worth mentioning, really? Cam Hayward, Von Miller. Okay, that's it. Now here's where things get really tricky. We've got $3 million in cap space. We are about to lose Rashawn Gary, Gabe Davis, Cam Curl, Mike Onwenu, L'Jarius Sneed, John Runyon. Oh my goodness, guys. Let me look and see, is there anyone we can cut to make room for them? Any of them? Okay, so Grady Jarrett, I know we just traded for him. I know he made some plays for us, but ultimately he's 31 years old. He's going to save us around 12 million if we cut him, and I think that's worth it to try and get one of our young guys back. I'm going to do that. We can always try and bring him back, but I think that makes the most sense for us. Okay, and next up is going to be Cedric Wilson. Again, a couple key plays for us in the Super Bowl, but I just can't justify it. Him over other guys. He's going to save us around 7.3 million. So that's going to leave us with around 23 million in cap. Now the question is, who do we bring back? We can get back one of these guys. Maybe two, depending on who it is. I doubt it. But who are we ruling out? So John Runyon, I think we can rule him out. Snead, I don't think we really need him all that much. Mike Onwenu, he's got no interest in us, so he's going to be tough. Cam Curl's lukewarm. He's not super expensive, and he's Super Bowl MVP. So, oh man, this is tough. Gabe Davis, I would love to get him back, but he just simply has no interest. I'm going to go for... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with Rashawn Gary. I want to prioritize him. Franchise player. Oh, it's going to leave us with no money. Even a team-friendly deal. What if I go neutral? Is that good enough for him? Okay. That is. Now, how much is the franchise tag for Cam Curl if he doesn't like our offer? Because I don't think I can afford to offer him anything. Yeah, what if I just go like the bare minimum? So we'll just say very team friendly. If that's even an option. And just make it to where I'm not going to go negative. Let me do that here. Okay, there. So basically the worst offer ever. Okay, I don't even have enough money to make that offer to him. Let me see if I can clear up some more space here. So honestly, I just looked things over. It's not happening, guys. We're going to have to settle with Rashawn Gary. Only player we're bringing back. It's going to be an interesting offseason. We've got some major holes to fill. We're losing out on some great talent here. Let's see who we got. We're down to an 84 overall, so it could be worse. But man, it's going to be one heck of a free agent class with some of the guys that we let go. Can anyone afford to bring them in though? That's the question. CeeDee Lamb's getting no offers. That's crazy. Gabe Davis is out there. He does have one. Onwenu, Cam Curl's getting offers. This is sad, man. I am bummed out. Ed Oliver's up to X Factor. I don't see that every time I do one of these. In fact, that's the first time I've seen it, but man, yeah, that's tough. And despite the losses that we've had to endure this offseason, it is still a good team. 85 overall. Rodgers is performing beyond his overall, but with Boost, he's up to a 90. The receiving core, funny enough, is back to where it was with Dobbs and Watson, neither of whom have progressed how I'd like them to. The left side of the line is fine, actually better than fine. The right side is a joke. Tunyon's fine at tight end. We still have a good running back in Aaron Jones. Defensively, Jermaine Johnson is up to superstar. So is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Jermaine in particular, man, he is a stud for us. That is incredible. Jair's a 95. We need a free safety. We need a linebacker. We need another defensive line. But all in all, man, this is a team that I still feel is a playoff squad. And I don't know if we can make a run, but if we can hit on our draft picks, I think we'll be okay. Now, we do have a fifth-year option decision. It's going to be for Eric Stokes. I'm going to go ahead and exercise this just because, I mean, yeah, I haven't seen his name pop up in the stat sheet a whole lot, but just to save ourselves the headache of trying to negotiate in what might be another messy cap year, depending on how things are looking. And while I'm at it, man, I'll tell you what. I don't know what our cap situation is going to look like next offseason. As you can see, several more guys whose contracts are going to be up. Now, I would like to compete. But here's my thinking. I can easily get myself a good running back in the draft. Aaron Jones is about to be 30. He's 93 overall. I think we can get some value for him. I'm going to add Aaron Jones to the trade block here. Don't crucify me for this, but I think it has to be done. Everyone else, I would say, is fairly invaluable to this upcoming season, but Aaron Jones is someone I feel I can easily replace in this draft. I really do. Now, we do have some offers here for Aaron Jones, and I'll tell you what, I'm honestly torn between two right now. The Texans with Derek Stingley, John Mechie, and a first-round pick, 14th overall. And the Jets, this is Richard Sherman. He is a second-year player, 78 overall corner, so we would still have a few years left on his rookie contract. And Breece Hall, who I believe would have 2 years left on his rookie deal. This would save us the trouble of having to even go and draft a replacement running back. We can use that draft capital elsewhere. And also, if we take that 14th pick from the Texans, we don't know that a good running back would be available. So 2 really good players, one of them already really good in Breece Hall, and Richard Sherman I think we can develop for Aaron Jones, both on their rookie deals. Again, I'm going to take that. And just like that, it is already time for the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, we are picking 20th because we made a trade, I believe it was with the Titans, to have their first round pick. So let's get there to number 20, see who's available. Okay, so one position we desperately do need is free safety, and Brandon Waters, best in the class right now out of Notre Dame. They've produced some good safeties. He runs a 4.54. He's not blazingly fast, but I would say that's good enough. 20 reps on the bench. Decent numbers here. I think he can be a good player for us. The zone I don't love, but I think we can develop, and he should be a good hitter. So he's a secure tackler. He does come with hidden depth, so I'm happy with that. 88 speed's not amazing, but I think he'll work well in our scheme. I really do. Okay, and now with our selection, pick number 32, I'm looking at Addison Barker here. Run stopping left end out of Oregon. Pretty solid numbers, A tackling, I do like that. And then athletically, 35 reps on the bench. That's pretty nice for a left end. I think he's going to be a good pick for us, and he does also come with hidden depth. 89 strength is very nice, so right like that, man. We've got 2 good picks on the defense. I'm happy with both of those. 2 instant starters for us, I think. And now we do have the the 4th pick in the 2nd round. That's pretty early. I'm thinking we should be able to get a future first out of that. Come on, man, show me something here. Okay, the Ravens, they are willing to give us a future 1. So are the Raiders, though. Okay, who do I think will be worse? The Raiders or the Ravens or potentially the Eagles? I'm going to go with the Raiders, I think. Just because, I mean, you always see Lamar and the Ravens doing well in sim. The Raiders, not so much. I'm going to take their first and take that gamble and hope it ends up being higher than the 28th that's projected right now. And back on the clock here, end of the 2nd round. So we're almost into the 3rd here. We are listed as the top fit for Chris Brewer. We've got that need at right end out of Iowa State here. B awareness, A impact block, 35 reps on the bench. Pretty solid numbers overall. And you don't see a right guard with hidden dev every day, man. We're 3 for 3 on those. Honestly, this draft class is unbelievable. Now, what I will say is hidden dev is not a guarantee that your player develops or turns out well, but I mean, it's a start. It is definitely a start. So I would say this is an amazing draft so far. 3 hidden devs, and we get a first in next year's draft. We are knocking it out of the park here. Let's see who's available round 3, pick 10. And actually, as I say that, this is early enough in the 3rd. I'm almost wondering, can we get a second for this? Can we get a 2nd round pick? Let me take a quick look here. I just want to see something. Show me the offers. Okay, I'm not seeing one immediately, but still, man, 10th pick? I would think that's close, right? Okay, there are the Ravens, and there are the Raiders again. Do I place all my chips in the Raiders basket? Or do I maybe go with the Eagles in case the Raiders are good? I'm going to go with the Eagles just to be safe. I don't think both of these 2 teams will be good. Of course, I've got no evidence to back that up, but that's what we're going with. Our next pick comes round 3, pick 32. I'm going to go ahead. We'll let the CPU do its thing because we got 3 hidden dev guys. Honestly, I'm good with that. I'll let the CPU take who they think it might be the best fit for us. And let's get to our draft recap here. And here is that draft recap. So Brandon Waters, he's going to come in at a 74 overall. Same for Addison Barker. Thankfully, that should be good enough for them both to start. Chris Brewer's a 73. And the CPU got us a whole bunch of nothing. But still, I'm not overly upset with the draft class. I think these guys all can develop. At the very least, they fill some holes for us. And here we are again, back in week 1. This is the 2024 NFL season. Let's do a quick look. I know we just looked at the roster, but I just want to take a quick gander, verify who is starting for us out of our rookies, see if there are any last-minute holes that we need to fill. So the receiving core, man, Rodgers has got to hate us right now. He's down to an 88. Oh, so he's fallen a bit since the draft. But there is Brewer. He is going to be starting for us as a rookie. Love to see that. We've got Breece Hall in there. Heading over to the defensive side of the ball, there is Waters, our starting free safety. Barker is going to get the start at defensive end. So 3 rookie starters, man, out of 1 class. Not bad at all. I do want to look and see, can I make some room, do anything to get Rodgers any kind of receiver? Even if it's not a good one from free agency, we got to do better than that. Okay, so we do actually have some depth in the secondary. Behind Jair, you've got Rasul Douglas, 1 year left on his contract. He will be 30. There's Eric Stokes and Rashard Sherman, who I would like to get some playing time for. As our number 4 corner, that's not going to do it for him. So let me see if I can get anything here for Rasul Douglas. Maybe a corner for receiver type deal. Okay, so the Chiefs, they actually do have plenty of depth at wide receiver. Toney is their number 3 guy right now, so Rasul Douglas for Kadarius Toney, I think that's fair. That helps us out, and at least gets Rodgers a legitimate weapon. I would like to get us a number 5 corner, so I'll sign one off free agency, just, low 70 type guy, but I'm happy with the move. Let's get to the midseason point and see how we're feeling. And as for who that corner will be, we're actually going to pick up Patrick Peterson here. He's 34 years old, but he gives us some very nice leadership at the position. That should help with Sherman's growth, so yeah, I'm happy with that move. Okay, and midseason point is here. We are 5-1, so very nice. Definitely not looking to slump here as we get towards the very tail end of Rodgers' career. Who's ready to negotiate? We've got some money. Very good news there. Toney, we're going to have to, well, we'll look at the stats. He's just going to want like a 3-year deal. Bakhtiari is going to want to come back. Creed Humphrey, that's a big one for us. There's Kenny Clark, Josh Myers. Oh man, guys. So 55 million. The good news is we should be able to bring back most of these guys. Toney's going to be pretty cheap. Who do we want to worry about the most? I'd say Creed Humphrey is our number 1 priority here. And what we may have to end up going with is the franchise tag if he doesn't want to come back on something that's reasonable. But I'm going to try him first because all that he wants is a 3-year deal. So even if I bump it up, make it 4 years, what does that do for Creed? No? Okay, that was easier than I thought it would be. So Creed Humphrey, we've got locked up long term. Happy with that. Still have 43 million left. Let's try Toney next year. I want to start with the youth. I want to keep our young guys around. So he's 25. If I do a 4-year deal, I mean, that's pretty cheap still. That's perfect. Okay. So Kadarius Toney, we've got him. Still have 36 million left. So that leaves us with who? Bakhtiari and Kenny Clark as our main guys. I mean, heck, even Josh Myers is decent depth. What's he going to want? If I do like a 4, I don't like that. I think I'm okay on Josh Myers. We can find a center in the draft. And you know what? He's the backup center. What am I even saying here? So yeah, we are more than fine on Josh Myers. Kenny Clark, though, I definitely would like to get him back. He's just 28, so he's not the oldest in the world yet. If we do a 3-year deal for him, what's that looking like? Will he take that? Perfect. Okay, so Kenny Clark, we've got him locked up for 3 years. That leaves us with 19 million. So that does beg the question, do we want Bakhtiari long term? That's hard. I'm going to wait until the season ends. I want to see what he regresses down to because he's a 93 superstar right now. So yeah, he's great, but he will be 33. So we'd have him for his age 33 and 34 seasons. Do we want him to retire a Packer? I think he deserves that. What is this going to leave us with as far as cap space goes? Even a neutral deal is going to take us negative. 25 million a year. Ugh. And you don't want to franchise tag him. So I don't know, man. Bakhtiari we're going to come back to. But we are 5-1. The team's looking great. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade our players and we'll skip to the playoffs, see how we're looking then. Okay, so a bit of a second half collapse, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We go from 5-1 to 11-6. That's not ideal, as the Bears, it looks like, may have secured the number 1 seed. They at least secured the division. Now let's look at the stats. So the offense, we finished 9th in the NFL, so still a top 10 unit. That's good. Defense, how do we do? 2nd in the NFL, man. Elite performance out of that unit. Very nice. Let's look at the numbers here. Rodgers, 4,600 yards, 28 touchdowns, 17 picks. So the regression, it's coming. I mean, passer rating of 103, though. Still, over 100 at this age. Breece Hall, his first year as a Packer, 1,300 yards, 16 scores on the ground. Didn't miss a beat. Mario McBride scores 9 times. Toney, he's not there. Okay, so Dobbs, 1,209. Christian Watson, 1,010, so they stepped up. There's Tony, 902. Okay. Blocking, how did we do there? Bakhtiari lets up 8, and Zach Tom, the backup left tackle, he must have been playing right tackle, lets up 4. Defensively, leading tackler is Devondre Campbell again. Quay Walker's behind him, per usual. Sacks, how do we do? 15.5 from Gary, 10.5 from the rookie Addison Barker, 7.5 from Kenny Clark, 6.5 from Jermaine Johnson. We might have the defensive rookie of the year right there in Addison Barker. Interceptions, we had 2 from Eric Stokes, 1 from Rashawn Gary. There's Pat Pete, Jair, and CJ Gardner-Johnson. Okay, very nice. And we get a showdown with the Rams here in the wild card round. So we get to travel to LA. Let's upgrade our players really quick. And here is our weekly strategy. So they have a young quarterback. I don't know if he's a rookie or not. I would hope so, being a 78 overall. Brian Springs. Okay, so we will make sure to lock him down. And defensively, they still have Aaron Donald, 97 overall still, so he is still getting it done. Jalen Ramsey is still a 99, man, that's crazy. Neither has started to regress yet, although I guess we're not too far into the future, but still. Yeah, it's going to be tough. We went on a run last year as a wild card team. Can we do it again? Can we knock off the Rams, move on to the divisional round for the second year in a row? No, we lose 33-28. Very close. Let's take a look here. Just want to examine the schedule so we can get to the stats. That is going to be interesting. Very close game. Defense, unfortunately, it looks like underperformed in a big moment, letting up 33 points to what was probably a rookie quarterback. Haven't seen his name before. Let's take a further look here. They put up 421 yards of total offense. And our game plan did not work. Brian Springs went off. Rodgers throws 2 picks. Breece Hall doesn't really get anything going. Kyron Williams scores. Mario McBride does score. Cooper Kupp goes absolutely bonkers. 245 yards and 2 scores. What a game for him. Oh my goodness. Robert Tonyan scores twice. Their left tackle lets up 2 sacks. Quay Walker's the leading tackler. How did we do on sacks? 1 from Quay, 1 from Jermaine. Donald and Ramsey each got in there. They split 1. Ramsey got a pick, and so did Ernest Jones. Man, and that's it. One and done. Now let's get into the season recap, and it's looking like for the second year in a row, the NFC North is going to produce your Super Bowl champion, as the Bears top the Raiders. So unfortunately, that first round pick, I spoke too soon. The Raiders are going to be picking 31st, so they actually end up lower than us. However, the Bears win Super Bowl 54, maybe? I don't know. 54, 59, whatever. Either or, very interesting. AJ Epinesa, Super Bowl MVP. You don't see that every rebuild. Brian Springs went off, though. MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year. We do get the Defensive Rookie of the Year, though, in Addison Barker, so that's very good for us. But, man, what a season. All right, moment of truth. Let's check the retirements here. We're going to go straight to the NFC side. Let's see. Who did we lose? There he is. Aaron Rodgers has retired. Oh my goodness. So we have got massive shoes to fill there. Yikes, guys. Who else? Fletcher Cox, he did retire as a Saint. That's interesting. Chandler Jones, Kevin Zeitler. But yeah, man, Rodgers is the big one. So we are entering year 4, so we've got 2 years now where we are going to have a brand new quarterback leading the Green Bay Packers. Hopefully that opens up some cap space for us. I don't know exactly how that works, but I know Rodgers had a massive hit, so let's see. And that does open up things quite a bit. So we actually now have $86 million in cap space. So Bakhtiari actually now just wants a 1-year deal. We'll bring him in for 2 because we want him for the last 2 years of our rebuild. So Bakhtiari, he is going to stay. Who else is going to stay? We should have around $66 million. Anyone else? I'm not seeing anyone. I think we're okay. Let's get to the offseason. Might be hard to convince free agents to come in now, but we will certainly try our best. Maybe a good player's on the market. It'll be interesting. And here are your free agent quarterback options. Jared Goff, Davis Mills, Geno Smith, Jimmy G, and Jacoby Brissett. So we're going draft, unfortunately. Although Jimmy G, I will say, if we completely strike out in the draft, I'm willing to bring him in on just a neutral 1-year deal. I mean, $4 million for a high-level backup. I'm willing to pay that. Outside of that, though, there's really not a whole lot else out there, as unfortunately the Jets did decide to let Aaron Jones go. I hate when teams do that. Najee's out here, Trey Hendrickson, but I like what we have now. Mike Williams, he's just too old. Rondale Moore would be a little bit intriguing, but I'm not overly into that. Do we need a kicker? I kind of neglect special teams. Yeah, we don't have anyone there, so why don't we just go ahead and get one of the best in the league in Evan McPherson. So we'll lock down that position. I don't know how much that affects things in Sim, but that should help us. Darius Slay, he's got no interest. Let's just sort it by anyone who does have interest. Foysad Aluakan, the hard thing is that half the league is gunning for him. Outside of that, I'm not seeing a whole lot here, guys, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we're probably going to have a pretty quiet free agency this year and turn to the draft and hope and pray that the quarterbacks are there for us this year so that the last 2 years are not rough. And if, of course, we're in a bidding war for a kicker. Let's go very player friendly and get the Bucks out of here because I don't want to worry about it, to be honest with ya. Does this put us at the top? No. I guess we're overpaying for Evan McPherson. And even with the overpay, the Bucks just must be very enticing to him. I don't think we're going to get him. We do not. So we'll just settle with whoever the CPU takes. But Jimmy G, for now, is the starting quarterback. We're going to need to do something about that. Now, we do have a 5th-year option here on Quay Walker. I am going to go ahead and pick that up just because we don't have anything behind him. He hasn't blown me away by any means. He's not a stud, but he gets the job done. So yeah, Quay Walker, he will be back for year 5 of the rebuild. And same situation here for Jermaine Johnson, a player who actually has met expectations. So yes, Jermaine Johnson, no question, he will be back as well. And now it is time for the 2025 NFL Draft. Now I have done my homework on the prospects. 2 guys I really like. Let me see who might be a good trade target here. So the Browns, they are picking first, and they do still have Mr. Rub and Tug himself. So can we trade up with them to number 1? Is that a possibility? Let's try it here. All right, done deal. A first, and a second. That will get the job done. We are now on the clock with the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. What is this? 20 years exactly since Aaron Rodgers was taken. How poetic. And for me, the selection is an easy one here, as we've got Eric O'Neal, 21 years old, out of Illinois State. He's 6'4", 226, A deep accuracy, A medium, B to C short, and A to B under pressure. So the guy looks pro ready. He's not the slowest in the world. He's not, Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, but he can get the job done. So Eric O'Neal is the number 1 overall pick. Hidden Dev, that was hopefully to be expected. Aaron Rodgers' successor, 95 throw power. We'll get a better idea on his overall rating and potential here in just a moment, but Eric O'Neal, welcome to the Green Bay Packers. Now we are back on the clock here. Round 2, pick 22. He's not a perfect fit, but Lyle Clifford is a very good prospect here. A to C in every single category, 22 years old out of UCF. He's a run stopper. He's the fastest right now. His 3-cone and 20-yard are good. I like this guy. I like him a lot. He comes with Hidden Dev. That 90 Excel is going to be very nice. So Lyle Clifford, welcome to the Green Bay Packers. And I'm actually going to let the CPU take the rest because I am very eager here to get into our selections. Those first 2 guys, I think we nailed it. I think we knocked both of them out of the park there. Let's get into our draft recap and see how things are looking. And before I even look at the recap, it is still an 87 overall team. So honestly, man, it has been a very interesting rebuild, but I think we've handled things very well so far. Not to pat myself on the back too much, but man, we're looking good. We're looking good. And Eric O'Neal is coming in at an 80 overall, man. Wow. With that dev, he's going to be 85 plus by season's end, no question. Lyle Clifford is a 77. The CPU got us a bunch of busts, but man, we crushed it with those 2 picks. So I'm happy with that. And week 1 again, back at it here. Evan O'Neal, he's got a pretty good supporting cast. Still some points to spend, but the O-line is looking nice. Right tackle's not amazing. Would love to address that, but when 4 out of your 5 guys are getting the job done at a high level, I mean, it's hard to have a perfect O-line in the NFL. Receiver, I don't love what we have, but I definitely think they're good enough. Breece Hall is nice. Tunyon is still good enough as a tight end. Defensively, what have we got here? So Waters and Jermaine Johnson and Barker, we have 3 superstars now that we have drafted. Well, Johnson technically no, but man, very nice there. There is Clifford with his hidden dev. He's going to start right away. So yeah, man, we're looking good. We're looking good. Let's get to the midseason point and hope we're still feeling that way. All right, and mid-season point, we are 4-3, so right in the thick of things. Could have been a rough start as we are coming off a 31-3 win against the Vikings. That's not bad at all. Let's look and see who is ready to negotiate. Now remember, we are going to be heading into year 5 here shortly, so it's about to be do or die time. We're going to have around 56 million. Hopefully no one amazing is up. Breece Hall is. He might be a franchise tag candidate. Thankfully, I don't think anyone else is going to be dire. Of course, we'll need new receivers because Dobbs and Watson are both going to be gone. However, I think we can replace both of them pretty easily and get similar level production. Breece Hall, he's probably going to get tagged, and we're probably going to have like 40 to 45 million left that we can spend. So I think we're in good shape. I don't think that we need to make any moves at this time. Let's get to the playoffs and hope that we made it behind our rookie QB. All right, and we do make the playoffs. So rookie quarterback gets us back on top of the NFC North. We narrowly beat the Bears, and look who we get in the wild card round. Let's look at the stats here. Very interested to see how our guy did. And here are the stats. So offense, they finished 16th. Okay, so a bit of a regression from Rodgers, definitely. Defense is still crushing it, though. 5th in the league. That is insane. Evan O'Neal, 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 8 picks. Very nice, man. Lowest interceptions we've seen thus far. In the run game, Breece Hall, 1,414 scores. Very nice. I mean, that looks like a good offense on paper, guys. Tony, 1,206. Dobbs, 1,007. Watson, 904. Yeah, we definitely want to get our guy some better weapons, I think, and I definitely think that's possible. Maybe even a right tackle if we can manage it. Campbell and Walker, our leading tacklers per usual. Sacks, it's looking like Rashawn Gary led the way with 14.5. Jermaine Johnson is a stud with 13. 9.5 for Kenny Clark and 7.5 for Addison Barker. Not to mention 6 for the rookie Wild Clifford. Didn't look like a pass rusher coming into the league, but 6 sacks, will take it. 4 picks for Jair and 2 there for Rashard Sherman. Very nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. We can work with that. And let's see what we're going up against here with the Chicago Bears. So Justin Fields is still there. He's up to an 84, so he's developed nicely. So is David Montgomery. Interesting, they've kept the same core intact. No major changes there. Happy to see them both finding success here. There's the Super Bowl MVP, AJ Epinesa, so I guess we'll want to look out for him. There's Cam Curl. Okay. So he is now a Bear. So does he get revenge on us? Looks like Eric O'Neal's up to an 84 overall, and I see Gambit, so it looks like they gave him X Factor. I mean, you would hope so, going number 1 overall, but man, I'm thrilled with that. That is very nice. So let's see if we can beat the Bears. All right, moment of truth here. Are we moving on? Eric O'Neal, he shuts out the Chicago Bears. What a statement. Ooh, from the new leader of the NFC North here. Let's go look at it. A shutout win in your first playoff game. 34-0 against the defending world champs. Oh my goodness. Let's look at it here. Postseason wild card. Bears at Packers. Here it is, man. 34-0. They only put up 207 yards of total offense. So Eric O'Neal, very nice. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Fields throws 3 interceptions, gets sacked 4 times. Wow. Breece Hall, he scores 4.9 a carry. In the receiving game, Dobbs, he scores. Tunyon scores. Very nice. We'll go to the defense here. Leading tackler for us is Rashawn Gary. Who is getting the sacks, though? We were all over the field, it looks like. There is Jermaine Johnson, Addison Barker, Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Lyle Clifford, Donovan Wagner, who I did not personally draft myself. That was a CPU selection. Nice. Interceptions, Quay Walker, Jair Alexander, and Devondre Campbell. So we were crushing it on that side of the ball, guys. What a win. And now it is time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 12-5 NFC South champs. Let's get into the weekly strategy here. I believe it's Wendell Bingham is the quarterback we're going to be going up against. Yes, Wendell Bingham, who is a stud, 93 X factor here in his sophomore year. Remember, he won Rookie of the Year, MVP, and maybe no, he didn't win the Super Bowl. But either way, massive threat here. Wendell Bingham is going to make things very tough for us today. We want to look out for Devin White, and let's get our training in. Hope and pray we get the victory here. Against the Bucs, can we do it? Let's find out. And unfortunately, our run stops there. We get a narrow loss, 28-21. Let's look at the stats here, but man, we kept it close. Not upset with that. Can't be. And here are the results. So let's take a look here. 28-21. We took the L in the divisional. We put up 420 total yards of offense. Nice. And Bingham, mistake-free football. Eric O'Neal, he throws the interception. That might have been the difference. To our defense's credit, we did sack Bingham 6 times. So, I mean, we did what we could. It wasn't, a bad loss by any means. And look at that, man. Aaron Jones, the former Packer, getting revenge on his old team. He does get the score. Only 3 yards per carry, so not very efficient, but that touchdown. Tony, 130. Chris Godwin, he scores. Mike Evans finds the end zone. Christian Watson scores, and that'll do... Oh, someone else got a touchdown. Jalen Douglas, okay. Looks like a lower tier running back. Devondre Campbell is our leading tackler. Leading sacks, we had quite a few. 1.5 for Gary, 1.5 for Kenny Clark, Devondre Campbell, Jermaine Johnson, Addison Barker. Trey Hendrickson is a Buccaneer. Interesting, he got their only sack of the day, and DJ Wanham picked off our quarterback. And that's going to do it for this season, guys. We've got one more left to go here. And here are your results for Super Bowl 60. Can you believe it? Super Bowl 60 already. The Browns win it over the Bucs, 28-21. Same score they beat us by, and Deion Jones is Super Bowl MVP. Very interesting. Unfortunately, we did not win Offensive Rookie of the Year. That is disappointing. Mahomes has yet another MVP, just as he's likely headed towards one in real life. But yeah, that's your season, guys. And now the real offseason is here. This is still an 88 overall team, pending our free agent decisions. Did we lose anyone to retirement, though? Let's take a quick look here, see who might be heading out of the league as we head into, 2025, 2026. Micah Hyde is leaving. He retires as a Raider. Interesting, Zach Martin retires as a Dolphin. Adam Thielen as a Colt. Travis Kelce, perhaps the GOAT of tight ends by the time it's all said and done. He retires. Whole career with the Chiefs. Respect to him. Khalil Mack, Russell Wilson, retirement country. Let's ride. That joke was terrible. Zadarius Smith retires. Aaron Donald finally retires. We do lose Devondre Campbell, so that is going to be a big loss for us. We are going to have to fill his shoes. Zach Ertz, Ryan Jensen. Anyone else? Kyle Juszczyk. Respect to the fullback. Yeah, big name retirements this year, and we've got a middle linebacker to replace, so our work is cut out for us. Now we've got 15 players here who are up. With Campbell retiring, hopefully that freed up some money for us. Oh my goodness, guys. We're going to have $94 million to spend. Who needs to come back? Let's see here. It's our last year, so we really don't want to be too thrifty now. So Eric Stokes, let's get him on a 4-year deal. Okay, he is going to sign back with us. Who else we got here? I don't want to lose Dobbs and Watson. So let's see here. Dobbs is a year younger. Let's see if we can get him on a 4-year deal, just so we have someone. I want to bring someone else in through free agency. I want a true alpha at the position. But, I don't want to risk it if no one is out there and then have to go the trade route. So, with how much money we're going to have, guys, let's go ahead. Let's see if we can bring back Watson as well, because he's cheap. Okay, so we at least have them. They're probably not both going to be starters for us, but it at least helps us out in that regard. Devontae Wyatt. I mean, if he's going to be cheap, I don't know if he'll take this, but I'm willing to throw a 3-year deal at him. Just a body on the line. Okay, that's fine. He probably wasn't going to get many valuable reps for us anyway, so that's okay with me. Anyone else here that we absolutely have to have back? Jimmy G's down to a 68. That is tragic. Okay, so Breece Hall, we've been holding off on him. He's got no interest in us. If we do a 6-year deal, I mean, his cap hit isn't even that much. I'll even bump it up a little bit just to save ourselves the trouble. He wants to play for a new team. Okay, so that's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. So how much is the franchise tag? 14.8. We'll pay that. So we're going to enter the offseason with around $67 million in cap space. We've brought back pretty much all of our free guys. I think we've got some decent draft picks. Now, fingers crossed that the free agent market is a good one. Okay, so did we get the class that we needed? Let's take a look here. We're targeting 5 players. We are double dipping at wide receiver. DK Metcalf, we are top of his list. Garrett Wilson, it is a competition for sure. So we're going for both guys. I wouldn't mind getting both of them. I think we get at least one of them in DK, but you can never have enough receivers in today's day and age. And even if we don't get Garrett Wilson, there are still some other solid options out there. Maybe we go that route again. Taylor Moton, get ourselves a right tackle. Patrick Ricard. I don't know how much the fullback position matters, but we'll certainly take it if we can. And then Devin Bush to fill that hole left by Devondre Campbell. So if we can hit on even 4 out of these 5 guys, I would be thrilled. Let's evaluate the offers here. They're all gone. How many did we sign? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So honestly, about what I expected. We do not hit on Garrett Wilson, but we do get ourselves DK Metcalf and Taylor Moton and Pat Ricard and Devin Bush. So very nice here. I'm just going to move my face quickly just because when I do my TikToks, it's going to work better for me. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But yeah, great options there. Let's look and see who else is available at wide receiver now. Okay, and as I said, plenty of quality options out there. Chris Olave does last to the second wave. So we got ourselves a great deep threat in DK. Can we get ourselves a nice route runner here in Chris Olave? Still just 26 years old, and we're going to try our best to get our punter and kicker situation figured out as well. We're his top offer right now, so Matt Gay is going to hold out on us, but Chris Olave is a Green Bay Packer, so what a duo. You've got DK Metcalf still very much in his prime, just 28 years old, and Chris Olave with Romeo Doubs, Kadarius Toney, and Christian Watson backing them up. I mean, think about what Rodgers had as a Packer compared to what we have now, and we're golden, guys. Let's look at the roster. All right, so here is the updated roster, guys, and just absolutely loaded now. Eric O'Neal is going to have DK Metcalf, Chris Olave, Breece Hall, Kadarius Toney, and albeit an aging Robert Tonyan with a very solid line. Not a player below 82 overall, and the left side is stacked. On the right side, on the defensive side, we have Barker and Jermaine Johnson are both superstar. Waters, he came out as an X factor. That is huge for our defense. In the secondary, you've got Jair and Rashard Sherman, both still getting it done at a high level. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Truly, all that we really need is a middle linebacker if we can. Clifford's up to an 80. I don't know, guys. I don't know if there's anyone that we can take in the draft that's going to step in and be an immediate starter. I might just trade back on everything, have draft capital, and once we get to the midseason point, maybe we make some trades. Maybe we get a tight end, maybe we get a new linebacker, a piece for the secondary, but yeah, man, we're loaded. We are absolutely loaded right now. Okay, so 5th-year option coming up here. Rashard Sherman saying, judging by his performance last year, he doesn't deserve one. I'm going to respectfully disagree on that one, Assistant GM. Thank you very much, though. So yes, we will pick up Sherman's 5th-year option. Okay, so the 2026 draft is here, and the Falcons are picking first. We're picking 25th. Let's get to our selection here. We're going to skip on over to that, and yeah, guys, I looked at the players. There's no one at a major position of need for us that's going to help us win this year. It is complete trade back mode at this point. And here already we have an offer from the Broncos, a 1st and a 2nd next year. I'm jumping all over that. We are going to take that. Basically, these draft picks, once I get to year 5, if you haven't already noticed from my prior rebuilds, if you've watched any of them, is that once I get to year 5, these draft picks, unless I have holes to fill at that point, which if I've done a good job with the rebuild, I usually don't, then those picks are typically traded back and used as pieces at the midseason point of year 5. So let's see here. Can we get a first in next year's draft? I doubt it. This one is pretty late, but I would take a second and a third if I could. Let me just look here. And we'll take this one from the Bears, a second, a third, and a seventh in next year's draft. The more capital, the better. And I think we trade away one more pick while we still get any value that we can, and then we're good. All right, round 3, pick 25. I'm looking for a 2027 third. And let's see here, still looking. I see a few, but like I don't want any more picks in this year's draft. I know it makes no sense. I know it's less value. I'll take this pick from the Commanders just because I don't want the players on my team. I don't want them messing with my cap situation. So I am strictly looking for picks in next year's draft. And that's going to do it. Maybe the CPU gets us someone good. We'll find out. So here is our draft recap. All of these made by the CPU. 4th round and later, they did not get us a 70 plus. So John Blackshear, Cliff Terry, Manny Hutton, and Caleb Hawkinson are your selections, none of whom are going to be relevant past this exact moment. All right, and this is it, you guys. Final season here. It's a 92 overall team. Can we make the playoffs? I'm hopeful. That would be a major shock if not. And can we go on another deep playoff run? Searching for our second Super Bowl win of the series. That would be amazing. Let's get into it. All right, guys, mid-season point, we are 7-0. Absolutely incredible. This is what I was hoping for. You never know in Madden, though. But man, the results are showing. This is an excellent team here. Just out of curiosity, who's ready to negotiate? We don't care a ton because it's the last year, but just out of pure curiosity here, we're going to enter the offseason again with 90 million cap. Jair's up. Brees, of course, is up because of the the franchise tag. Elkton is up. Have not seen his name in a while. He has interest. So does Bakhtiari. Ooh, Jermaine Johnson, Quay Walker, Robert Tonyan, and Mario McBride, who has played a pretty decent role in the team. Wow, so a lot of big decisions here. I think we probably could afford to bring all of them back, but to be honest with you, I'm not going to mess with it, and I'm also not going to mess with a good thing, guys. We're 7-0. Let me upgrade our players here really quick just to get everyone on the same page, and we'll get to the playoffs. Okay, so playoffs are here, guys. We went 16-1, and very encouraging is the fact we beat the Packers in Week 18. Always a tough matchup for us, but oh my goodness. Let's look at the schedule here first. Who did we lose to? That is one thing that I would like to know, is who was our one loss. I would have loved to have seen an undefeated season. That would have been incredible here. So let's look at our regular season. Let's just take a quick look here. So it would have been the Panthers. They beat us by 10 in Week 8. And that was it, man. Other than that, just sheer dominance. I mean, some close wins, don't get me wrong. 44-38 against the Bucks. We got revenge. Will we see them again in the playoffs? We'll find out. But man, what a year for the Packers. Let's look at the stats. The stats are going to be very interesting here. So let's take a peek at them. Did the Bucks make the playoffs? I didn't immediately see them. It'd be nice if they missed it. So offense, 4th in the NFL. Defense finished 8th. So 2 top 10 units again. Very nice. Eric O'Neal, 4,600 yards, 44 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So, I mean, this guy's the second coming of Rodgers, man. Passer rating of 120. That's incredible. In the run game, Brees Hall, almost 1,700 yards with 15 scores. 3 fumbles, which I don't know if that's high or not. Regardless, DK, 1,210. Tony, 1,118 scores, bro. Oh my goodness. Tonyan, 902. And Chris Olave, 4th in yards with 819, but he does score 10 times, so definitely not complaining. Brees Hall adds 2 more scores through the air. Sacks, how do we do? 9 let up by Bakhtiari, 7 by our center. That's a bit high for that position. Okay. Leading tackler is Devin Bush with 102, followed by Quay Walker. So Quay is still out here playing second fiddle. Jermaine Johnson, 15.5 sacks, bro. Insane. 10.5 for Gary, 8 for Kenny Clark, 5.5 for Addison Barker, 2.5 for Lyle Clifford, and that's about all we want to talk about. Interceptions, though, we had 3 for Jair, 2 for Sherman, and 2 for CJ Gardner-Johnson. Those are really the relevant ones. But yeah, man, 16-1. It's hard to argue with those results. The team is up to a 93 overall with a 95 offense. This is the best team that I've been able to put together in one of these rebuilds. And look, we get a Week 18 matchup right away with the Dallas Cowboys, coming in with an 87 overall team. My goodness. This is going to be tough. I do not want to go one and done against these guys. So we got to worry about Dak. Down to an 87 overall, so it looks like finally starting to regress a little bit. Defensively, yeah, blitz counter. We got to look out for Micah Parsons. And I'll tell you guys what, since this is the very last year of the rebuild, we're actually going to do the play-by-play for potentially all 3 games. Divisional, Conference Championship, and Super Bowl. Especially because with the Cowboys, this very well could be it. I'm going to be completely honest. This is the team that I was probably most feared, or most fearful, I should say, to draw, and for good reason. So let's upgrade our players. Let's get into the matchup. And another aspect to this is the fact that knowing that this very well could be it, it's the team that we spent all this time putting together. I'd like to see how they play on the field. Rather than just reading the box score, I feel this will be more fun. So let me know in the comments if you absolutely hate this and want me to get rid of it. But again, man, we're not playing the games. Like, this is, I feel, the exact same result we would be getting had we simmed it. But I feel this makes things more fun, more personal, more interesting. And here we are, historic Lambeau Field. Packers Cowboys, a classic matchup. Not the first time that we've seen this matchup here in this series, but it will be the last. So let's get into it here. First quarter, who gets the ball first and what do they do with it? We'll change the speed here to normal, jump forward to the end of the game. So we do get the ball first. Big first quarter series here. It's a touchback, 1st and 10 at the 25. Sacked. Oh no, excuse me, they get the ball. My bad, that's Quay Walker. Hits Mike Williams for 12 yards. 3rd and 3, they convert. DeAndre Swift. 1st and 10, Swift picks up 4. 2nd and 6. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 6 here at the 43. They get it. Garrett Wilson for 29 yards. Center Josh Myers is injured on the play. 1st and 10. Passes thrown away. 2nd and 10. Drake London for 13 yards, so they have acquired some talent. Dalton Schultz for 13, they're knocking on the door, 1st and goal, and DeAndre Swift punches it in. The Cowboys march right down the field. First quarter opening drive at 7-0. How do Eric O'Neal and the Packers respond? Touchback. 1st and 10, loss of 2 by Breece Hall. 2nd and 12. Penalty against the defense, 18 yards for Trevon Diggs. 2nd and 10, pass is dropped. Real 2nd and 10, 4-yard gain by Breece Hall. 3rd and 6, DK Metcalf, 29 yards. Breece Hall for 10 yards. They're on the 11-yard line. Breece Hall picks up 1. 1st and 10 here. 5-yard penalty against Taylor Moton. 1st and 15. Breece Hall, 11-yard gain. It's 2nd and 4 here. Breece Hall picks up 1. 3rd and 3 on the 4-yard line. And Eric O'Neal hits Robert Tonyan for a 4-yard strike. It is 7-7 here as the first quarter starts to wind down. Cowboys, second possession. How do they respond? Tie game, 1st and 10. Swift picks up 6. 2nd and 4. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 4. Do they go 3 and out? They do not. Drake London for 23. 1st and 10. 6-yard gain by Swift. 2nd and 4. 5-yard gain by Dalton Schultz. 1st and 10. Sacked by Rashawn Gary. 2nd and 14 here. 6-yard gain to Schultz. It'll bring up 3rd and 8 as we enter the second quarter. Oh, they must not have converted. They didn't show us, but they do hit a field goal. It's a 10-7 game here as the second quarter gets underway. 1st and 10 Packers. 3-yard rush by Chris Olave. 2nd and 7. Sacked by Micah Parsons. Loss of 9. 3rd and 16. Passes thrown away. Packers go 3 and out, and Eric O'Neal is injured on the play. Big news there. Cowboys will get the ball with great field position after a 13-yard punt return. Swift picks up 3 on 1st down. 2nd and 7. Penalty against Devin Bush. 18 yards for the Cowboys. Dak picks up 2 with his legs at 2nd and 8. Hits Garrett Wilson for 3 yards. 3rd and 4. Passes thrown away. They'll have to settle for 3 here. They do. Riley Patterson. It's good. 13-7. Packers get the ball back. After going 3 and out, is Eric O'Neal back in the game? 1st and 10 here. Yes, he is. He hits Breece Hall for 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Hits Patrick Ricard, the fullback, for 7. 1st and 10. It's a 3-yard gain by Breece Hall. 2nd and 7 here. Breece Hall picks up a 1st down there at midfield. 1st and 10. Hall picks up 5. 2nd and 5. passes thrown away. Big 3rd and 5 here, not quite in field goal range. Hits Tunyon for a big gain of 26. Then hits Tony for 7. They're on the 10-yard line. Hits Chris Olave for a 10-yard score, and they do take the lead. 14-13. Cowboys, plenty of time here. 3 minutes left in the half. What do? Touchback. 1st and 10. Swift picks up 8 on the ground. 2nd and 2. Picks up 5. It's 1st down at the 38. Passes thrown away. 2nd and 10 here. Hits Schultz for 11 yards. 1st down, they're at midfield. Hits Mike Williams for 4 yards. 2-minute warning is approaching. 2nd and 6. Dak picks up 3. 4th and 3, actually. They skipped a play. It's a touchback. They have to punt. O'Neal hits Tony for 12. Tony is injured, to no one's surprise. Oh, and it is an interception by Isaiah Simmons. Oh, no. They're in the red zone. Dak hits Schultz. 1st and goal, passes thrown away. 2nd and goal here. Dak picks up 2. 3rd and goal at the 5. Oh, it's 4th and goal at the 1. What do? And they go for it, and they get it. Dalton Schultz gets the touchdown. They go for the extra point. It's a 6-point game, 20-14. Minute 10 left for the Packers here in the half. They've let up 20 points to the Cowboys. Breece Hall gets called for the flag. 1st and 15, sacked again by Micah Parsons. 2nd and 20, hits Dobbs for 9. It's 3rd and 11 here. Breece Hall picks up 6 on the ground. They will have to punt. Cowboys get it with 53 seconds left at the 40-yard line after another punt returned by Greg Oliver. Passes dropped on 1st down by Mike Williams. 2nd and 10. Hits Drake London for 9. They are at midfield here with a timeout left. Mike Williams for 13. They're at the 37. Dak picks up 4. They're in field goal range. 2nd and 6. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 6 coming up here. Hits Drake London for 17. They're at the 16-yard line. Passes thrown away. 8 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Hits Garrett Wilson for a 16-yard score. Oh no. The Cowboys get the score before the half. It's 27-14. What a collapse these last couple minutes. That will take us to the half. That was horrible. Packers get the ball to start the 3rd quarter here. They need something. 1st and 10. Breece Hall picks up 1. 2nd and 9. Passes knocked away. Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 9. Hits Tony for 27. 1st and 10 at midfield. Hits DK for 12 yards. 1st and 10 at the 35. O'Neal picks up 4 on the ground. 2nd and 6. Breece Hall, gain of 6. 1st down. 1st and 10. Knocked away by Trevon Diggs. 2nd and 10. Hall picks up 10 on the ground. 1st and 10 at the 15. 7-yard rush by O'Neal. 2nd and 3 at the 8. 6-yard gain by Breece Hall. It's 1st and goal at the 1. Breece Hall punches it in. 1-yard score. They get the extra point. It's 27-21. Now can they get a stop? 3:46 left in the 3rd quarter here. Cowboys have been on fire offensively. 1st and 10. Hits Schultz for 3. 2nd and 7. Hits Garrett Wilson for 13. 1st and 10 at the 41. 4-yard gain by Swift. 2nd and 6. 2-yard rush by Garrett Wilson. Big 3rd and 4 here. Dropped by Dalton Schultz. They will have to punt. They do. Packers will get the ball. They'll take over at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10. DK Metcalf, 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5. Hall picks up the 1st down gain of 5. 1st and 10 here. Olave, 13-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 44. Olave again for 14. 1st and 10. Passes thrown away. 2nd and 10 on the 41. Passes thrown away again. Big 3rd and 10. Not quite in field goal range. Hits DK for 15. 1st and 10 at the 26. Olave for 5. O'Neal's cooking here. 2nd and 5. Hall picks up 6. 1st and 10 at the 15. Jalen Douglas, 12-yard reception. 1st and goal at the 3. Mario McBride, no gain. 2nd and goal, passes thrown away. Big 3rd and goal here. Do they get it? Not quite. 2-yard gain. It's 4th and goal at the 1. What do? They go for it. Eric O'Neal hits Kadarius Toney, and they take the lead after Matt Gay hits the extra point. 28-27 headed into the 4th. What a game here. What a 3rd quarter by the Packers. Drake London, gain of 4 on 1st down. 2nd and 6. Swift loses 3. It's 3rd and 9 here. 10-yard penalty against Dylan Parham. It's 3rd and 19, and Dak is sacked by Jermaine Johnson. Brings up 4th and 24. And after a 13-yard return, Packers get the ball at the Cowboys 38. Jalen Douglas picks up 6 at 2nd and 4. Tony for 12. 1st and 10 at the 20. They're in the red zone. Knocked away by Sean Murphy-Bunting. 2nd and 10. Hits Olave for 5. 3rd and 5 here. 3-yard rush by O'Neal. They'll likely settle for 3. Missed by Matt Gay. Oh no. It's still a 1-point game. Schultz, 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4. London for 15. 1st and 10 at the 40. Passes thrown away. 2nd and 10 here. Hits London again for 16. 44-yard line. 1st and 10. London, 13 yards. 1st and 10. Dylan Parham penalized. It is 1st and 6. Hits Garrett Wilson for 11 yards. 1st and 10. Swift picks up 3 at the 13-yard line. 2nd and 7. Swift picks up 3 again. It's 3rd and 4. Passes thrown away. They will likely settle for 3 here, and they do. Riley Patterson hits it. 31-28. That missed kick by Matt Gay. Will that prove to be huge for the Packers here? 1st and 10. Olave, gain of 9. 2nd and 1. Tony for 17 at midfield here. 1st and 10. Metcalf for 10. We are at the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 1. Olave, 26 yards. Oh my goodness, and now officially 2-minute warning. 1st and 10, 12-yard rush by Breece Hall for the score. Extra point is good by Matt Gay. It is a 5-point game. Huge though, it could be an 8-point game right now. Cowboys will get a chance. Donovan Wagner, the strong safety, is penalized. 1st and 10, Dak is sacked by Kenny Clark. 2nd and 17 here, hits Garrett Wilson for 10. It's 3rd and 6. What do? Hits Garrett Wilson for 14. 1st and 10 here. Garrett Wilson again for 15. Cowboys are marching. Garrett Wilson again for 14. No, what happened? What happened there? I don't know. It didn't show us, but the Packers somehow have the ball. What is going on here? 1st and 10, Mario McBride. It looks like the Packers are going to win. Eric O'Neal kneels, and that's the ball game. What happened? Genuinely, it didn't show us what happened there. It had to have been an interception or something. Who made the clutch play, guys? Wow. 35-30 final score. What a finish here. I'm glad that we did that. I hope you guys are too. Oh my goodness. Let's look at the stats. So let's see. Yeah, Dak, there's an interception. I did not call one out for him, so he had to have. Both players over 350 yards almost. Eric O'Neal, 345, 3 and 1. Rushing, Breece Hall with 2 scores. Receiving, Garrett Wilson had a huge day, 136 and 1. Remember, we wanted him. His old teammate, Olave, 82 and 1. Go Buckeyes. What a game, though. What a game. Where is the interception here that saved the day for us? It was Devin Bush. Devin Bush saved the day for the Green Bay Packers, guys. And we are moving on here. Conference championship game. We can all take a deep breath now. And after that stunning victory over the over the Cowboys, we are the Packers. Who are we facing in the conference championship game with another trip to the Super Bowl on the line? It's going to be the Carolina Panthers, who I believe were in the conference championship game last year. Who are we going up against here? I mean, that's impressive. 2 straight conference championship games. It's Davis Mills? Really? And Damian Harris, who's a 90 overall superstar. That is an interesting duo right there. Who would have thought? Defensively, Brian Burns is a stud, 95 overall superstar, and Micah Parsons had his way with us last game, so we're going to want to make sure to really look out for Mr. Brian Burns here. But yeah, man, I mean, was the divisional round the peak? Is this game going to be as competitive? I don't want to jinx us, but I can't say I'm as worried about this one as I was about the Cowboys. They're coming in with what? A 83 overall team? Let's upgrade the players and let's get to it. All right, guys, here we are. Conference championship game, Lambeau Field, one last time. Let's get into it. Packers and Panthers. And it looks like the Tennessee Titans are AFC champions. So that is who we're potentially facing off against in the Super Bowl if we do make it. Don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but wow, that will be an interesting one. Let's get into it here. First quarter. So Panthers, they do get the ball first. What do they do with it? It's a touchback. 1st and 10. 5-yard gain by Harris. 2nd and 5 here. 4-yard gain by Harris. 3rd and 1. Davis Mills to Josh McKnight. Gain of 11. First down, Ikemekwanu called for the flag. First and 15, sacked by Addison Barker. Second and 24, interception by Brandon Waters. The Packers, first play, Eric O'Neal to Kadarius Toney, a 24-yard score. What a start for the Green Bay Packers, man. Let's go. Panthers, first and 10. Harris picks up 5. Second and 5 here. Harris picks up 5 again. It's third and inches. Hits Tommy Tremble for 15. They are at midfield. Passes knocked away by Quay Walker. Second and 10. 5-yard penalty against Gary. It's an automatic first down. First and 10. Harris picks up 1. Second and 9. Harris picks up 3. Third and 5 here. They are in field goal range. Hits Tommy Tremble for 8. Maybe they don't have to settle for a field goal, and they do not. Josh McKnight, 25-yard receiving score. It is a tie game here. Packers, technically their second possession, although the first one was a quick one. First and 10. Breece Hall, 9-yard gain. Second and 1. 5-yard gain by Breece Hall. It's a first down. First and 10 here. Hall loses 2. Second and 12. Passes thrown away. Big third and 12 here. Hits Dobbs for 14. Midfield, first and 10. Knocked away by Shaq Thompson. Second and 10. 4-yard gain by Breece Hall. Third and 6. Hits Toney again for 10 yards. First and 10 at the 36. Olave, 28-yard gain at the 8-yard line. Hall picks up 4. It's second and goal. For 1-yard gain by Hall. Third and goal at the 3, and Hall punches it in. It is a 14-7 game. Packers have scored on their first 2 possessions. Panthers, can they respond? Let's find out. Interception and the touchdown. What do they do next? Passes thrown away by Davis Mills. Third and 7 now. Hits Cam Akers for 5 yards. They will have to punt. Packers take over at their own 4-yard line. First and 10. Hall picks up 5. Second and 5. Hall picks up 6. First and 10 at the 16. Passes dropped by Jared Schaub. Second and 10. Hits Tunyon for 15. That's the tight end you want. First and 10. 7-yard rush by Metcalf. Second and 3. Hall picks up 8. They're at the 46-yard line. First and 10. Hits Olave for 15. Another big gain by him. First and 10. Mario McBride picks up 3. Second and 7. Hits Olave again for 12 yards. Having a great game. First and 10. 7-yard rush by Jalen Douglas. Second and 3. Olave picks up 5 on the ground. First and 10 at the 12. McBride picks up 4. Second and 6 at the 8-yard line. 2-yard rush by McNeil. It's third and 5 here. And he is sacked by Richard Barrow. Fourth and 9. They do get the field goal at 17-7. They just didn't show it to us. 2-minute warning for the Panthers here. Josh McKnight, 20-yard gain. Big game for him. First and 10. Passes thrown away. Second and 10. Thrown away again. Big third and 10. Get off the field here. They do. Thrown away for the 3rd time in a row. 4th and 10. Packers get the ball. Minute 34. All of their timeouts at the 18-yard line. First and 10. 3-yard rush by O'Neal. Second and 7. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 7 here. They go 3 and out. Panthers will get the ball back. Minute 14. They take over at their 34-yard line after a punt return of 13. First and 10. Passes thrown away yet again. Second and 10. 3-yard gain. Mills to Harris. 3rd and 7. Passes thrown away again. 4th and 7. It's a punting battle here. Packers, they will get another chance to score all of their timeouts. 7-yard rush by O'Neal. 49 seconds left. They're at the 28-yard line. First and 10, sacked by Marcus Davenport. That will take us to the half. The Packers, they have a 10-point lead. They will get the ball here to start the second half. First and 10, knocked away by J.C. Horn. Second and 10, 8-yard gain by Breece Hall, getting back to the run game. 3rd and 2, passes thrown away. Not a great start to this half. They punt. Panthers get the ball on their own 8-yard line. Nice punt. First and 10. Hits Tremble for 7. Second and 3. Knocked away. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. 3rd and 3. Thrown away. They will punt here. And the Packers get the ball at their 33-yard line. Decent punt on that one. First and 10. 4-yard gain by Hall. Second and 6. 5-yard gain by Hall. It's 3rd and 1. And he hits Tunyon for 5. First down at midfield. Hits Toney for 13. The Packers are driving again. Knocked away by Mike James on first down. Second and 10. It is intercepted by Travis Madison. Not what we wanted. Harris picks up 7. Panthers might have momentum here. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 3. Passes thrown away again. Do they go for it here? No, they do not. Packers will take over at their 9. They've been bailed out. Hasn't been great offense today. 5-yard penalty against Brian Burns. First down, pass is knocked away by Mike James. 2nd and 10, Hall, no gain. 3rd and 10, hits Metcalf for 10. It's 4th and inches here, and they will punt again. Not much offense here since the first couple drives. Harris picks up 4 on first down for the Panthers. 2nd and 6, Tremble, 5-yard gain. 3rd and inches here. Harris picks it up, gain of 6. 1st and 10 at the 47. Harris picks up 1. 2nd and 9, sacked by Kenny Clark. 3rd and 17 here, sacked again by Kenny Clark. 4th and 21, they punt. The Packers, can they finally put a drive together? Taking over at their 13, passes thrown away on first down. Minute left in the quarter, 4-yard gain by Hall. It's 3rd and 6 here. Sacked by DJ Riley. 3 and out yet again. They will have to punt here. Fair catch is called. They'll take over at their 23. No points this quarter. It's winding down. 2nd and 10. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 10. Thrown away yet again. The Packers defense has stepped up this game in spite of the offense. They've been getting it done for them. Packers get the ball again. 1st and 10. Passes thrown away. You got to do something here. Help out your defense. Metcalf, gain of 12. 4th quarter is starting. Hits Chris Clifton, the tight end, for 10. 1st and 10 here. Tunyon, gain of 8. 2nd and 2, 3-yard rush by McNeil. 1st and 10 at the 46. Breece Hall, 19-yard receiving. 1st and 10, Hall picks up 5 on the ground. 2nd and 5 here, sacked by Jamie Youngblood. At the 37, it's 3rd and 12, hits DK for 20. 1st and 10, knocked away by Jordan Fuller. They are in the red zone. 2nd and 10, 4-yard rush by Breece Hall. It's 3rd and 6 here, and Tunyon, it's a 14-yard receiving score. It's a 17-point lead. That might be it. That might be the dagger right there. Offense finally responds. 1st and 10, Marquez Callaway, gain of 16. 1st and 10, passes thrown away. 2nd and 10 here, sacked by Kenny Clark yet again, his 3rd of the day. 3rd and 16 is thrown away. Big 4th down here, hits Thad Davis for 12. The Packers take over on downs. Hall, it's a 2-yard gain. This is definitely it, guys. This is it. It's a put-away drive here. Tunyon, gain of 18. The Packers are knocking on the door, up by 17 as the 2-minute warning is approaching, and we are headed to the Super Bowl. The game is not over on the clock yet, but it might as well be. 1st and 10 here. Hall picks up 4. Did they get a garbage time score? 3rd and 1 at the 3. What do? Knocked away by Tavares Belser. 4th and 1. They will take the points. They are now up by 20 with 1:12 left in the game. We might as well call it here. We'll give the Panthers their last drive. Thad Davis, gain of 9. Minute left in the game. Marquez Callaway picks up 6. Josh McKnight picks up 5. 2nd and 5 here. Tommy Tremble for 7. 1st and 10 at midfield. Passes knocked away by Jair Alexander. 30 seconds left. They do call a timeout as Mills hits Harris for 36. Sacked by Jermaine Johnson. It's 2nd and 17. Hits Josh McKnight for 17. And it's 3rd and 5 at the 8. 20 seconds left here. Thad Davis does get the score. It's 27-14 here. 16 seconds left in the game. They go for the onside kick because they have to, but the Packers recover, and O'Neal will kneel it out, and that is going to do it, folks. The Green Bay Packers are conference championships yet again. More surprisingly, it looks like Matt Rule still has a job. But yeah, 27-14, that will do it. We are headed to the Super Bowl to face off with the Tennessee Titans. And man, guys, what a potential finish here to this series. Breece Hall, he's going to be up to a 96 overall, man. What an absolute stud he has been for us. I don't know why he really doesn't want to play for us, but I suppose, it doesn't really matter at this point now, does it? Let's get to our Super Bowl here. We've done it, guys. We are back in our 2nd Super Bowl. This is going to be the first series ever with potentially 2 Super Bowl victories here. Let's take a look at our competition, the Tennessee Titans. It's an 84 overall team, definitely beatable on paper, although King Henry is no joke. And oh my goodness, Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback? What a Cinderella story for him, man. I love that. I love Jacoby Brissett. One hell of a guy, one hell of a locker room leader. I mean, as a Colts fan, yeah, he's not the best player in the world, although he's been pretty good for the Browns this year. He's had his moments. But man, just an absolute great guy all around. Nothing but respect for Jacoby Brissett. Jeffrey Simmons is going to be tough, absolutely. But man, what a Super Bowl matchup here. Very interesting. Can the Titans complete that run and knock us off? Which we don't want them to, but there's only one way to find out, so let's get into it. All right, guys, here we go. Super Bowl 61 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Are we in for an epic duel here between Eric O'Neal and Jacoby Brissett of all people? What a game. The patches are on the jerseys. Super Bowl 61. Let's go ahead. Let's get right into it here. Looks like the Packers are going to be kicking off, so the Titans will get the ball first. Let's get right into it here. I'm going to go ahead and not click that option. I'm going to click end of game here. So 1st and 10. Brissett hits Cade Otton for 7. 2nd and 3. Henry picks up 6. First and 10, Henry picks up 4. 2nd and 6 here, Henry picks up 3. 3rd and 3, Rondale Moore, gain of 7. 1st and 10 at midfield, Henry picks up 5. 2nd and 5 here, hits Gabe Davis for 17 yards. 1st and 10, Henry picks up 5. 2nd and 5, hits Cade Otton for a 21-yard score. What an opening drive by the Tennessee Titans. Packers, how do they respond? Touchback. 1st and 10 here for the Packers. Eric O'Neal to Olave for 11. 1st and 10. Hall, gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Metcalf, gain of 15. 1st and 10. Olave for 14. Ball's at the 29. Hall picks up 2. It's 2nd and 8 now. Metcalf for 9. That is a first down. Packers in the red zone. 1st and 10. O'Neal picks up 5. 2nd and 5. Passes thrown away. 3rd and 5 here. 12-yard penalty against the defense. 1st and goal at the 1. And Breece Hall has done it yet again. Rushing score. It is a tie game here. 2 minutes left in the first quarter of Super Bowl 61. Titans do get the ball back here. 1st and 10. Henry picks up 5. It's going to be a busy day for him. 2nd and 5. Rondale Moore, gain of 7. 1st and 10. Henry loses 2. 2nd and 12 now. 3-yard rush by Kerry Clark. 3rd and 10. Hits John Mechie for 21. 1st and 10. Mechie again for 32. It's 1st and goal at the 10. Henry picks up 8. 2nd and 2. 3-yard rush by Henry. It's 1st and goal at the 1. And Henry loses 3. 2nd and goal at the 4. 3-yard rush by Brissett. 3rd and goal at the 1. Henry does punch it in. No surprise there. 14-7. Titans are 2 for 2 on their drive so far. Packers, do they respond? 2nd quarter here. Hall picks up 5. 2nd and 5. Sacked by Antonio Byrd. It's 3rd and 12. O'Neal picks up 3. The Packers will go 3 and out. And oh my goodness, it looks like the punt was blocked. No, Titans have the ball in the red zone. 3rd and goal at the 10 now. And hits Mechie for 9. It's 4th and goal at the 1. And they go for it and they get it. Derrick Henry again. It's 21-7. What a disastrous sequence there for the Packers. Oh no. Now down by 14. 4 minutes left in the half. Passes knocked away. 2nd and 10. 5-yard gain by Hall. It's 3rd and 5 now. And the pass is knocked away. The Packers go 3 and out. They will have to punt. Nice return. The Titans will take over at their 40. 1st and 10. Passes thrown away. Oh man, 2nd and 10, 1-yard rush by Kerry Clark. Need to get a stop here, and they do not. Cade Otton, 10-yard gain. 1st and 10 at midfield. Davis gains 6. 2nd and 4. Brissett picks up 1. 3rd and 3. Hits Gabe Davis again for 12. Oh no. Otton, gain of 10. It's 1st and 10 at the 20. Davis picks up 14. 1st and goal at the 6, and Rondale Moore has a touchdown. It is now a 21-point game here. 2-minute warning for the Packers. They need a score here. They need 7. Metcalf picks up 4. Amani Hooker is hurt on the play. 2nd and 6. Olave picks up 8. 1st and 10. Metcalf picks up 8. 2nd and 2. Metcalf for 5. 1st and 10 at the 50. Passes knocked away by Jeffrey Simmons. 2nd and 10. Hall picks up 4. It's 3rd and 6 here. Tony picks up 8. The drive is still alive. 1st and 10 at the 37. Olave, gain of 9. 41 seconds left. Pass is thrown away. It's 3rd and 1 now. Hits Metcalf for 16. It's 1st and 10 at the 12. Pass is thrown away. 2nd and 10. 26 seconds left. Pass is thrown away. 3rd and 10. Need to get it. And Tony picks up 6. What do they do here? They take the point. It is 28-10 here. That will likely be your score headed into half. And Henry picks up 6. So halftime, down by 18 now. It's going to take a lot. The Packers, they need to do something. 1st and 10. Tony, gain of 15. 1st and 10 at the 40. Hall loses 3. 2nd and 13. O'Neal picks up 4. Big 3rd and 10 here. Olave for 12. 1st and 10 at the 47. Tunyon, gain of 7. 2nd and 3 here. Hall picks up 5. It's 1st and 10 at the 35. O'Neal picks up 6. 2nd and 4 now. Hits Tony for 11. 1st and 10 at the 19. Olave, 19-yard receiving score, and the extra point is good. 28-17, 4 minutes left in the 3rd. Have to get a stop here, have to do something. Keep that momentum going. Henry picks up 5 on 1st down. 2nd and 5, passes thrown away. 3rd and 5 here. Can you get a stop? No, Cade Otton has been clutch. He picks up 6. Sacked by Addison Barker on 1st down, though. 2nd and 16, hits Gabe Davis for 23. Brissett will not be denied. Neither will Henry. He picks up 8. It's 2nd and 2. Henry picks up 5. 1st and 10 at the 34. Henry picks up 4. 2nd and 6 now. Henry picks up 11 through the air. 1st and 10 at the 19. Jake Ferguson, gain of 4. 2nd and 6 at the 14. Henry picks up 8. It is now 1st and goal. 2-yard rush by Gabe Davis. 2nd and goal at the 5. Henry picks up 4. 3rd and goal at the 1. And Kerry Clark gets the rushing score. It's dire times here for the Green Bay Packers. It is do or die. Down 18 as the 3rd quarter is winding down. They need a miracle. Tunyon picks up 11. 1st and 10. Hall loses 3. We are now in the 4th quarter. 6 minutes left. Tony, gain of 8. It's 3rd and 5 now. Pass is thrown away. They have to go for it, and O'Neal picks up 6. Drive is alive. 1st and 10. Hits Olave for 22. 1st and 10 at the 31. Sacked by Denzel Harrison. 2nd and 15 now. Hits Metcalf for 6. 3rd and 9 at the 30. Olave for 5, brings up another 4th down here. Pass is thrown away, and the Titans take over on downs. That might be it. Kerry Clark, gain of 3. Kerry Clark loses 3. 3rd and 11 now. Kerry Clark, gain of 3. The Titans will punt. 4 minutes left, and it is a 3-score game. It is going to take a miracle. 1st and 10, Metcalf for 6. Inside of 4 minutes now. Dobbs, gain of 5. Dinkin and Duncan isn't going to do it. 1st and 10, passes thrown away. 2nd and 10, Olave, gain of 11. 1st and 10, hits Tunyon for 13. 3:21 left in the game. Hits Olave for 15, down to 3:12 now. Sacked by Jeffrey Simmons. 3 minutes left in the game. Sacked by Antonio Byrd. It's 3rd and 22. Hits Breece Hall for 10. 4th and 12. This is most definitely the game. Hits Olave for 13. 1st and 10 at the 29. Olave for 8. 2nd and 2 now. Tony for 11. 1st and 10. Hall picks up 2. This might take us to the 2-minute warning. It will. O'Neal picks up 2 on the ground. 3rd and 5. Hits Tunyon for a 6-yard score. Extra point is good. 35-24 now. Inside of 2 minutes, onside kick is recovered by Tennessee. Minute 50 left. 2-yard rush by Henry. Packers take a timeout. They're going to use all of them. Henry gains 1. Rashawn Gary is hurt on the play. Minute 44 left. 3rd and 7. Sacked by Rashawn Gary. 4th and 14, the Titans will punt. Minute 37 left in the game. It will take an absolute miracle here, guys. Pass is thrown away. Packers at their own 7. 2nd and 10. Hits Tony for 10. 3rd and 1. 5-yard rush by McNeil. Down to almost a minute left in the game. Hits Tony for 8. Minute 8 left remaining. 2nd and 2. Hits Olave for 9. 56 seconds left in the game. Tony, gain of 5. 47 seconds. Tony, gain of 7, 37 seconds. 1st and 10, hits Olave for 6, 26 seconds left in the game, guys. It's not looking good. Tunyon, gain of 11, and Tony, gain of 6. There's 7 seconds left in the game, guys. Pass is thrown away, 4 seconds left. Sacked by Harold Landry. And that will do it. So the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, Derrick Henry, and Jacoby Brissett have knocked off our Green Bay Packers super team. What an absolute upset this has been. What a Cinderella story for this team. I can't say that I'm overly upset right now because, man, again, I love Jacoby Brissett, but wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And unfortunately, guys, that is going to do it. What a finish. What a run. 2 Super Bowl appearances with 1 victory. We got Rodgers his 2nd ring. We went 16-1 and almost secured a 2nd. Let me know. I will keep this franchise alive. I'm not going to delete it. If you want, I will do a special video. We could do a part 6. It would be like a 15-20 minute video. I'll run it back 1 more year. At this point, this video is getting to be pretty long, I figure, so I feel this is a good place to cut it off. But if you are still watching at this point, truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do appreciate you incredibly so. So again, thank you guys. I will see you in the next rebuild, and I hope you enjoyed this one.